really want to work out, like, I need to sort out so I can be on the
Hang on.
be on the computer,
Hmm.
and then but where it stops stealing my microphone,
Yeah.
like it's just ridiculous. I don't know why the Logitech thing has to steal, like it forces itself
Hmm.
to be the
You got
microphone. It's
you got
super
plenty of
annoying.
USB-Cs on your computer, haven't you? You get
Yeah,
one
I
of
could
these
plug in a
Razer
USB-C
headphones,
mic.
man. Yeah. Like my little porty one. Get like nearly
Yeah,
5 or 6
well, I'm a bit
hours worth of
echoey. I've got a bit of
continuous.
hollowness, and I'd like
Hmm.
to get rid of that. Like still sounds a bit unprofesh,
Yeah.
but
How do I sound on
I
my
am
end? Oh.
no really clear, man. Super
Yeah.
good. Like
Yeah. That's because
what?
I'm using the
People can't
gaming
talk in the
mic,
house
and it's
anymore?
got a double, like it's a stereo pickup. So you, sorry, Mr. Bear.
Yeah, I wondered about that because I wasn't using my headphones in stereo. Well, I can't when I'm using the Logitech, I suppose. That's just
Mm.
because I'm using headphones. But I think my headphones in stereo would be much better. But then they'll die. Like they just
Mm.
won't. They won't endure.
Well, even with the those other ones that I bought, like I'll get 3 to 4 hours if we're chatting on the phone with the Bluetooth ones before they
Mm.
start bipping out and.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whereas at least I can mute the mic on this fairly easy on the headset. I'm not holding anything. Obviously similar to the earbuds, but I'm not worried about them falling off every time I go to have a drink or laugh too
I
loudly
feel
and
you guys'
my ears
desperation.
widen
I know
slightly
how
and
I
then the
felt when I had
buds
no
come out.
food earlier, but
I've already had a feed.
yeah, same. Yeah. Should I use? No, I'm not really into wine glasses. Not into it.
But yes, this whole thing with the dude, man, I just couldn't believe it. Like
What's the dude doing?
the five gas bottle dude.
5 gas bottles,
Well,
like small ones or like full height?
I think like the large, not the full height ones, I don't think, but
Like your
it
house
would
one?
be just the standard, the 10 liter or 15, 20 liter.
Oh, the small ones, like
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
like a barbecue one,
5 of
not a
them, and
house
then
one.
just light them up. Then kaboom, dude.
He kaboomed.
Yeah, and
Earth
like
shattering.
they were mopping it up, and actually other people got injured because it did that much destructive damage. Apparently, um, still a crime scene.
Statement.
Yeah.
Crime scene.
Mm.
What, like, what was the crime?
Um,
Like
unhappy camper.
stealing a man's house?
Yeah, well, that's what
Is
I was
that the
thinking.
crime, or is it like,
There'd be some people sleeping well tonight, right? Wouldn't there? You know,
hmm,
satisfaction of knowing that insurance will be paid out on that explosion.
that's right. Good
Mm.
times. They'll be able to probably rebuild it and sell it for more, like a more fancy house.
Mm.
Like it's a net win for the owners,
Win-win.
really, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Bank's probably happy.
Oh, and the bonuses, man. That's what.
Oh, the bonuses.
Instant payout. Dude was insured up
Yeah.
the wazoo.
Oh, was he?
I guess.
Yes,
You'd
well.
have to be, wouldn't you, to have a home loan these
But
days?
usually, but I thought those kinds of insurances didn't apply to suicide.
Hey, maybe it was a private bet.
Oh, do you know this, right? So,
Mm.
in talking to
A dollar
certain
bet.
people, who
Mm.
know about such matters,
Yeah.
that people take out insurance policies, like in the drug world, right? In the drug
Mm.
world, you like take an insurance policy out on your flatmate, who's also like a tweaker,
Yeah.
and then fucking get him killed,
Mm.
and you're the beneficiary. You know
Yep.
what I mean? It's a
Happy
whole
times.
thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Maybe, as you say, so maybe the same. Like it's like
Could be.
nod and a
I know.
wink, and
It's on early days at this stage, you know. They're still mopping him
Oh,
up.
mopping him up. Even the blood would have like caught fire and like evaporated. What's there to mop up?
I don't know.
Meat?
Apparently there was chunks, so
They're fucking chunks. Right?
yeah,
I
that
mean,
was
I'm
from
impressed that there's even chunks.
eyewitness
Like
chunks.
those,
Yeah.
like
Well, you imagine those things
eyewitness.
just opening up, man. There'd be like a
Oh
hand
yeah.
grenade sitting next to
No, they
5
they
hand grenades.
fly.
Mm,
If you put one on the ground and you can cause carnage.
mm,
Crack the end off it, catch fire.
mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I was amazed to hear that this morning. That's sort of like, whoa, hold on. Like, yeah. Like, oh, hard times. Guess that's why I don't want a mortgage.
Mortgage, death. That's it.
Mm,
Isn't the original meaning of let me just. I thought the
mortgage, watermage.
etymology.
Etymology of the words. Break it down.
Etym online. Here we go.
Yeah.
Mortgage. I thought it was. I thought it had something to do with till death or something like that.
Mm.
Like
I thought it was more
dead pledge.
indebted.
That's it. Literally
Indebted.
dead pledge.
Yeah, debt pledge.
Well, dead pledge.
Oh.
Mm. The pledge of the dead.
Mm. Mm. I, the dead, pledge to pay my debt.
My children will pay my debt for me, I promise.
Mm.
You may have them as servants.
True.
Very popular in Japan.
Mm.
There's a lot of
Indented
anime.
servitude.
There's like, well, yeah, well, like Chainsaw Man.
Hey.
Mm.
10,000 yen's 10,000 yen, right?
I actually sang the other day, $20 is $20, and it was like
Yeah.
I had a little $20 is $20 moment.
Mm. You did.
Well, it's actually the thing, like it it's actually it's interesting, like with Uber, right?
Yeah.
So we're really, and I don't have a problem with this. We're like, oh, time is like, okay, if I've got an hour, like how much do I earn in an hour? What's the hourly rate?
Yeah.
But the main thing with primary thing with Uber is that it's actually per kilometer
Mm.
mostly,
Mm.
and you're just like the
But my
fucking
hourly rate's
meat.
like 25, man. I'm a cheap whore.
Yeah, you're the meat matter that
I'm the meat
drives the
matter.
car around. Like
Dude,
you're kind of irrelevant.
I'm the
Like
blown
in
out
terms of
pussy,
cost,
man.
you're the blown out pussy.
$25
Fucking
special,
25 an
25
hour.
bucks an hour.
Yeah. So yeah, well, and it's actually interesting. Like we actually were. And I've talked to a number of people about this who are like, yeah, like everyone talks about like increasing wages,
Mm.
and everyone's like, no, I've more observed that my wage has actually gone down.
Yeah,
Like
because of the,
I earned more.
the mix
I
up
earned
in the hours and the change
more
of
20 years
policy and
ago
yeah,
per
yeah.
hour. And then
Well, I
like
mean,
what
freelancing,
25
you're
even
expecting
means now.
35 to 40 bucks an hour, at least.
It's
Even maybe
insulting,
the
man.
50,
Like
you know,
50,
50 an
50.
hour, at least.
Yeah, 50.
That's
So
double your full-time rate. Yeah,
you
because
do a
you
job in
ain't paying
Uber.
for holidays.
So you do a job in Uber and maybe it's like $6 and you're like,
Yeah.
fucking hell, man, like $6.
Mm.
But it's missing the point because if you do that, like if you imagine like how much and you sort of say did a job and maybe the job was 15 minutes and you're like, fucking I only earned like $10, not even $6.25,
Mm.
Like what the fuck am I earning $6.25 for this work for? You can't think of it that way. You got to look at the whole amount at the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
day.
The chunk. That's it.
The chunk, right? So like when you look at the $6 job, you're like, oh, that's fucked. But at the end of the day, you'll make 250.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's and so there's two things. There's one, there's a shift in your mind
Mm.
around
Mm.
that, so that you're not looking at the unit price, but you're looking at the whole story.
Correct.
And the other is realizing that you're not the thing that's being paid. It's the car.
That's right. Yeah.
You're just the meat unit that drives it around.
Mm-hmm. As they
Yeah.
like
And
to
if you don't
call,
like
as they
driving,
like
then
to call
fucking
most
stop.
technicians, glorified delivery people.
But totally, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
I get that all the time. Oh, I like that. Glorified delivery.
I gotta remember.
Yep, yep. Yeah, give me a monkey with a fucking magic hat on it and I'll train how to do my fucking job, cunt.
Yeah, well, it'd be a good monkey.
It would. It would serve well.
I mean, talking about the trained monkey, I've been doing like a few funny things of late. So I like,
Giant monkeys.
oh no, like I don't know, just laughing it up. Like so,
Yeah.
I dropped off this food to some dude, right? His name was John.
Mm.
Just as like on the thing, like whatever, like and I, and I'm just like, yeah, that's just like I don't know. I just got out of the car, I'm like, Mighty John, like, and he was standing there. He was like standing at his gate. He was so chuffed, man. He was just like, fucking, it's just like, thanks for that.
You made my day, man. Thank you.
Enjoy dinner.
That's it.
And I've been and I've been doing like some so I got my responsible service of alcohol transport license, so I can like transport alcohol to people. And so I get a few other jobs now. And that fucked me actually, like because
Responsible
I did it
alcohol
on,
transport. Do
yeah.
they have tanker deliveries, do they? Is that responsible? Turn up with the tiny tanker?
Giant tanker of like, yeah, hard spirits. You just scan it in there.
They do that in New Zealand. Got the tiny tanker there.
What are you talking
Because
about?
the kegs weren't enough. They're just going smashing through kegs, so they ended up coming up with a stainless steel tanker that they could turn up with the beer in it.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
um,
Small nation comes to your birthday party.
well, it's it's interesting. Like I thought about this. It's like why, like say for example, I thought about it in Alice Springs. It was like,
Mm.
well, what if we just like instead of having all these bottles of Jim Beam and all this stuff, you just had like basically bottle shops just become vats, and you just come in and you just
Dip your,
fill up your 700 of,
yeah. Stainless steel 700 tankard.
just fill it up of
Put a
whatever the drink is you want.
fly
You could
cap on the
mix.
top there. I mean,
Mm.
the Swiss, those German beer mugs, they translate well out back. Keep the flies out of you.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Mm,
So they've got the little lid.
that's it.
I'm going to try and mute everything, like some mute coughing and stuff if I can. I'm going to try and
Yeah,
remember to
I
press
do.
mute.
I just turn the
Mm,
mic off,
yeah, yeah.
coughing myself up. It's all good. And obviously when making less of myself. But yes, that was an interesting story. The dude that decided to exit with a bang. So we've had an implosion and we've
And
had an
now,
explosion.
is it a statement enough to change the property sector's behavior?
Perhaps. Sometimes it takes a
Perhaps.
man on the doorsteps of Parliament setting himself on fire to so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to get that
But
the coverage.
I remember when we were working for various
Because apparently
TV
coming up to this
stations.
election, which I've been hearing over and over again on the radio, um,
Have we got an
the
election?
primary next year,
Oh.
coming up. They like to pre-announce it. But the cost of living, the primary in people's minds at the moment.
Which is going to go up. So
Mm.
that they should keep it in their minds because it's going to
They're
be
just
a
not.
bigger
They're not
thing.
happy with the price of $50 for a carton of eggs, man. And it's
Ah.
you got to really love those eggs if you want to pay 50 for them.
Mm. Yeah, it's well, it makes you resilient.
Mm.
Do you need it?
That's it. Are the fresh eggs important, or can you just do it with powdered egg?
Yeah, and because if you go into the supermarket, I was going to point out that when I go to the supermarket, it's not all the eggs are gone.
Mm, just
It's
the
the more
battery,
affordable egg. It's
the
no, well,
battery.
no, even the cage free, like the
Mm,
Coles cage freeze might be gone,
yeah.
but the $12 fucking whatever, like dollar an
Mm-mm.
egg ones that
Yeah,
are like
$12
from
free range,
something from
massage
some
chickens,
massage
eggs, yeah,
brand, who knows?
massage brand, chicken massaging brand.
They're still on the shelf.
Yeah,
They're not in short supply.
no, no, of course not.
Yeah, so you can still get eggs if you're
Mm,
willing,
mm.
if it's
But how
important to you.
willing are you?
None.
Mm. Well,
I
obviously, the cost
determined
of
that,
living has made you less willing.
well, it's actually the protein level. Like one egg, the amount of like nutrient value, like
Mm.
it's just too low. Like I can just get better value from other things.
Dead kangaroo on the side of the street.
True
Mm.
that, true that.
Seen a few more today.
Oh, do
Coming in.
tell.
They must be coming in.
Oh, it's the cost of living.
Yeah.
You
Even the
know,
kangaroos are suffering, so
it's
they're heading in because of the cost of living. Grass is always
affecting
greener near the cities, you know. They got a lot more water there.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got to bring them into the cities. That's like we got to shut down those small towns. They're not efficient. Into the cities.
Yep, all the
Set them up
wallabies
in the
head to the
factory. All the
cities.
wallop.
Because it just ain't fun unless it's just, bedlam on the roads. Imagine all the extra insurance for those wallabies coming in.
Insurance.
Hmm?
So a Mercedes owner decided that their insurance was adequate enough to just not give a fuck and just drive straight out nearly into me because
Oh,
they just didn't care today.
yep,
It was interesting.
yep. They had the full accidental dildo insurance.
They did, so it
Mm,
didn't bother
mm.
them.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought to I was looking at it, I was like,
100% gold platinum dildo.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, don't come at me with your cheap ass Mercedes.
Mm.
Like if it was a Maserati,
And your platinum
you know,
dildo
or
insurance.
maybe like a particular. I saw this dude today in a Rolls Royce, right? Like a modern looking, fucking sleek looking Rolls Royce. He's got the window down. He's chopping a drink
Mm.
and a little bit of vape. Yeah,
Yep,
like he had his muscle shirt on.
yep.
He was a dude, but I don't know how he made his money. I don't give a shit if he was is he a drug dealer, or whatever
Does it
his
matter?
story is. But no, but
Yeah.
because he was cool, it was cool. And the
He
back of
had
the
the thing
car,
going on.
the back of the car was roll R, and I was just like, "You're cool. I don't. However you made it,
Yep,
fuck it, eh? Let's
yep.
like, it was
Enjoy.
like a
Enjoy.
stylish car, man. A
That's it.
stylish,
Yeah.
like it looked really good. And he was just,
He was living the
yeah,
moment.
it was living it. It was living it. It was like you're a champ, which is completely different to say, for example, like because I see all this kind of crap, like these
Yeah.
cars, right? So I
All
saw
this fancy,
there's
I'm
these
I'm
Bentleys.
making X amount of dollars
Now,
per
if I say
year, but
Bentley,
really you're spending probably twice as much as that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So because you're allowed to at that
Mm,
level,
mm,
the bank will just keep doing the thing, as you know. So
mm.
what if I say Bentley? Like, what do you think? Like, what kind
Well,
of car?
I
Describe
think
what
of a
that means to you.
stylish, vehicle from the 60s and 70s. It was the epitome of class. That's what I think of when I think of Bentley.
So you
Yeah.
wouldn't think of like a sort of a cheap
Whale skin
Hyundai.
hubcaps and, baby seal eyes for headlights.
So you wouldn't think of, for example, a shitty looking Chinese made sort of, or Korean made Hyundai type crappy SUV
No,
with
no,
with a bubble back. You wouldn't think that, would you?
no, I wouldn't.
They are. That's this
Well,
Bentley. This Bentley like does this
doesn't
maneuver on me
surprise
the
me at
other
all,
day,
Si. If you've
and I
seen
looked at
most
this
of
car.
those
It was
four-wheel
just
drives these
rubbish.
days, they do.
It looked like
Even the
rubbish.
Land
I was like,
Cruiser, the
and
new Toyota Land Cruiser looks like a bubble car.
it does, but a Bentley, like And
Mm.
and on the back of it, because it was so crap, it had to have the Bentley name like giant to make you really think that you gave a shit. And
It is one of those. It's not one of the, BMWs or Ford Exploder or, any
yeah,
other
it's
of
just
those
Ford Exploder. Who
big
knows?
ass
And
bubble cars.
yeah, it was just
Mm,
another bubble car. It was the
mm,
crappiest looking car. I felt sorry for the owner that they
mm.
thought that that was good. And and there's this thing like I've come to this realization I saw around like, well, I don't have a lot of there's a few BMWs,
Yep.
but the cheap ass car is like the Mercedes.
Oh,
You get the Mercedes, and
yeah,
really you should have just put
yeah.
that money on your house,
That's it.
or into your
Yeah.
business, because it's rubbish.
You see the little
It's the
C220s and the
uh,
C120s buzzing around. You're like,
but
okay, huh? Uh,
I couldn't even.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Mm,
Now, if you but seeing like a roller, like looking cool, like
mm,
I saw a pink one the other day. I was like, that's hot.
yep.
Like, and then there's other things like there's some really nice Maseratis and Porsches and things.
Mm,
But
mm.
Porsche have done the Cayenne and stuff, and it's a soccer mum car
It is a
mostly.
soccer mum's car. 911 is always going to be the pinnacle of what they did
Oh,
for me. Yeah.
I saw a 911 the other day. It had like a classic car logo on it,
Oh, yep.
and it had like, I don't know how to describe it better than like, not yellow, because yellow sounds kind of wrong because it was
Mm,
red, but
mm, mm.
the
Canary,
the
they call it.
the no, the car was red.
Mm,
The hubs, so not the tires, but the hubs were kind of, so I can't say yellow, more like, if I go, I'm going to say gold, but then I went
mm.
gold. That was just more gold color. I,
Yep,
I,
yep.
I haven't seen that before. It kind of looked weird, like sort of. Have you ever seen sort of goldish looking hubs? Not shiny, matte, like flat, almost like some
Oh,
kind of.
yeah, yep, yep. Is it the one piece, not spoke?
It looks like spokes, but it's not. It's
Mm,
one piece. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, like a fake
yeah.
spoke.
Fake spoke, but
Look,
it's just one solid bit, yeah, with the spokes cut into it.
that's the one.
Yeah.
It was so tiny. Like, if it had suddenly stopped, I would have rolled completely over the top of it, like just destroyed it, like on the spot. Like, I
Yeah.
couldn't believe how small it was.
Mm.
It
They
was
are boxy,
minuscule.
man.
It was a teensy little vehicle, a
Mm,
911 Carrera type thing, like the
mm.
old style, like old,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know about original, but like old,
Mm.
yeah.
The
But
non-flip
it,
up headlight one, the
mm,
one with the solid set
oh,
headlight.
definitely not,
Yeah.
definitely not. Yeah, 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 yeah. Something that would have been in like, I don't know, some 80s show where they were trying to show someone was a bit rich or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
always
mean,
like the busted up one that they had in was it what a piece of shit fucking it was one 80s movie I remember, but the dude had this 911 and it was just battered to shit. Like he must have run into a god knows how many things in it. It was still going.
oh
You know what I mean? But it's that
yeah,
freaking
yeah,
solid that it was just, semi-death proof.
yeah. Death proof. So this is it. I've come to this point in like in the realm that I live. I've become like, so even with Porsches. I was looking at the name on the back of this Cayenne the other day, and I thought, Porsche. People say, and then people say, oh no, it's meant to be Porsche. And
Mm,
I thought to myself, in the modern era, no, it's Porsche.
yeah. Eh,
Eh. That's another Cayenne. What the fuck?
That's it.
I don't know. It's on. It's just looks.
All good.
So I've become ultra car snob.
Mm,
Like, don't come at me with your fucking Mercedes. You got to have a quality car if you think that I'm gonna like care about you.
mm,
And you
mm,
got to do it. You got to do it
mm.
with style,
That's it.
like
It's got to
style. You got
be
to
either a
style.
classic or it's got to have some style about it rather than the standards. It sort of blends into one. That's the thing. If it wasn't for the big emblems splattered on the back of them, you wouldn't know the difference. half the
No,
time.
no, you wouldn't. No, not even half the time. 90% of the time. Like if you took the logo off the back of a Porsche, Porsche Cayenne, like I don't know, yeah, it'd just look like whatever else, like another bubble car. Like it's just, and the lights. It's like I'm going to say one thing. Like Audi is a sort of a low grade vehicle. It's down there with the Mercedes and the BMW. But they actually have a unique style still. They don't look shit. Like and they've got the cool lights which I invented like 20 years before them. But where they use the LED and it like actually like moves from the center out
Yeah.
as it's like indicating in the direction. It's so
Yep.
cool. It's
Yep.
so good to see that. I'm grateful that some of it finally got done. People thought I was an idiot when I just invented it, but
Yep. No, there was a
it
lot of
looks
things. A
good.
lot of things we
I like it.
threw out into the ether.
That it took that long though,
Special
like 20
gift.
years. Like, oh my gosh, couldn't someone have figured that out earlier? It's not like it was hard. But anyway, Audi do it really. Have you seen the Audis do it?
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
have.
nice.
Excellent.
It's stylish.
I'd expect all the cars in the future at night to have like larger indications turning. Road-based stuff where they cast light
Well,
onto the road and you can see, oh, okay, it's going that way.
and like, I'm thinking more and more. I'm
Because most people
injecting this
do look
into.
down. They look ahead. They check their
Mm,
mirrors occasionally, but most people look down at the road in front. Me, I'm looking
mm,
fucking 200 meters down the road.
You see this. So I started to inject into reality now as I'm cruising around. That the next thing we need to have, which was a previous invention, is the where on the back of the window, and I think some on the front too, but on the back of the window, you actually have like a little LED screen that can do like a series of basic emoticons. So you can
Yep,
give someone a thumbs up if they've let you in,
yep,
a little love heart,
yep,
that kind of
yep, yep.
thing. Like, yeah, and send a little message. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
complicated. It's like 6 things. It's very
You
easy
could
to
do it. You
send.
could do it with, a clear paste on LED array.
Easy, super easy. Yeah, and it's not a complex message. It's just an emoticon.
Yep.
Like yeah, like
Could even have it integrated into your CarPlay, so you just fucking have it on the screen
yeah.
there and just press the button.
Thank you. It
Yep.
says, "Beep,"
Bonk.
yeah, and it's on the yeah, just a series of 6 little icons on your steering wheel. A little thank you button or whatever,
Mm.
you know. And
Thank you, cranky.
well, that's what I thought. Like, would you allow? Like, is it just a fixed set of 6, so that it's just
Oh,
nice
you'd be able to
things?
customize it. Come on.
Well, that's the thing. Like, but
Otherwise, the
then do
kids
you?
would just customize it
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh no. But then do you have like someone giving you eggplant?
Mm. Yeah, well, eggplant, donut, donut.
I mean, I don't know. Like, does it? That's why I think like maybe there's like
Well, like anything,
you don't.
they just,
I don't know.
you
I
bring it
don't
out
know that
and
it's. I
you'd
don't know that it's
you'd
helpful to
attempt
have.
to not make it hackable, but then, it
Well, it
would
would be
be,
no,
could
it's
become
super easily. I
hackable.
like yeah. As soon as I
Because it
thought,
has the
so I was
port
talking.
built in, so you just load the
Oh
software and
well,
put
no, it's
whatever you
too
want on
easy.
there.
It's obviously hackable. Because I was like, even though I think about it, I'm just like, yeah, well, that's obviously what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I think if you could do something which gave nice messages, that feels good. But like, yeah, if it's actually just to increase road rage, I mean, not helpful. And you don't want it to have 200 emoticons anyway. Like
Hmm.
as you say, customizable 6. Like
Well,
maybe it's like
what
thank
increases
you,
road
the thumbs
rage?
up.
Someone having fun and laughing at some little silly symbol coming up on the back of their car, or someone throwing a bottle at you, you know, bottle of piss out the window.
Did my classic
I
my
regaled your story to
memorable.
that girl that shared the guy exploding with 5 gas
Oh yeah, yeah.
cylinders, and she just like laughed. I said, yeah. I advised him that next time he should pick the milk container because it's got a rather large opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that quite
Yeah,
amusing.
it's the way. It's
Yeah,
obviously the way.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Did you like the meme thing I sent to you though?
oh
The
totally. I got
dude.
it. Well, I didn't get it straight away, and then I was
Yeah.
just like,
What?
huh. Oh, I'm
Oh,
going to
hang on.
send you something.
And then you had a look, and then it was there.
So we're both up on your screen, yeah, in our position.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm going to send you something for you to chuck up on there. So this is a, I just want to have a talk about this. I mean, I think hopefully it'll just be above your head. I'm not sure. This is one of my things this week.
Blow it up.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, and you remember, make it like a sort of a picture thing that's sort of, oh, no, can't you just save the file and,
Hang on.
yeah,
That image.
and then you just load it up in, as a
Put
background
it in
picture.
memes. Yep. Done.
And then, I can't see our screen, but it's okay.
I'll start the bitch.
I'm like already an hour in. Copy talk a lot.
We do.
Oh, I like your outfit today.
Yeah, I got the Hawaiian on. Gotta change my t-shirt.
So yeah, I got this. This is sort of at a shopping center, you know, and I always remember this sort of someone telling me about like how.
It's fine.
How do I mute in this mode?
Awkward. Oh, there it is. Okay. Just need safety of your pet.
For the safety of your pet, do not tie.
Rail left it next to the lift.
Yeah. So this is at a shopping center that I frequent, complex. And it reminds me of like this sort of someone told me about like how policy is formed. And
Mm-hmm.
you see the sign in a bank, and when you're outside a bank, which says you can't come in with a motorcycle helmet on.
Yes.
Take your helmet off.
Yeah.
But they didn't used to exist.
No.
And the reason why they do exist is because people come with motorcycle helmets and rob banks. And so then a policy was formed not to have them in
Helmet. Correct.
helmet. Kind of.
Having to
So
remove
I
it.
see this is the same. It's that there's been a few dogs that have been
Hoisted.
well,
Is that the word?
no,
Hoisted up in the lift or dragged down to the bottom
yeah, to
and
their death,
decapped?
strength decapped, yeah, inside the lift as someone's screaming trying to stop the lift.
Ooh.
You know, you can just see like the owner, right, who's done that.
Mm.
And they're away like having coffee with their friend.
And
Just
then
something like near,
their
just
dog
near.
starts yelping.
But the trauma experience is like the people in the lift, the shopping center staff, like probably their
Yep.
security,
That's it.
like, and then they're like trying to find the owner, and then like owner of the
The
what?
ex-dog that was latched to the lift.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Please come and get your two halves of your dog.
Yes, please come and get the two halves of your dog. Basically, that's the facts, right?
Mm.
So this has happened a number of. Look, I want to say that thing like where it's like, oh, who would need to be told such a thing?
Well,
But I look at it and
why
I
do you
go,
think
well,
they
actually,
have
no.
do not swallow on the little
Uh,
pillows in the
but I
to
think,
keep your
but I
your
think,
items dry?
but I think if I was a dog owner, like I wouldn't initially think of like the dog getting like decapitated by the lift. Like I
Mm.
wouldn't think of that. That wouldn't it wouldn't occur to me. Like I actually think that you do need the sign because I think I wouldn't think of it. I think
Well,
I'd
if
just let
it's
the dog go.
exposed, Si, then I get it. Like if there's
Hmm.
some sort of rail that is exposed.
Well, look down, look down. I think it's down, isn't it? Like I think I don't know if I got the whole to the ground. I thought maybe I got a bit down. No? There. There it is.
That
Right?
pillar.
That yeah, and look where the door like can you imagine?
Why would you tie your dog next to the lift anyway?
I don't
Like,
know, man.
like wouldn't you tie it somewhere away from
Like
travelator, escalators, and other
wouldn't you
things?
think? Like, why wouldn't I know?
I would if I
This
had a dog.
wouldn't you just leave it in your car?
Yeah, with the windows down.
Why wouldn't you walk it up the stairs
Yeah,
like with you and then tie it at the? I don't know. Like,
mm. Maybe the restaurant or whatever they were going into didn't allow dogs. I mean, most of them don't.
hmm. I mean, it
Sort
was a
of
supermarket. Like,
contravenes the code of practice for looking after a clean kitchen, doesn't it?
it does. It does.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Like, yeah, I think I would need it. It's not my initial thought. It is so close to the door, though. I mean, I don't know that I would. I think that would be the alert for me,
Yeah,
because I mean, and probably as you went into the lift and you were trying to shoo the dog backwards.
shrink it right
And I'd
down.
say, you know, yeah,
So
there we go. Look at that.
this pole here,
Well,
or
yes,
the metal one, that pole there, not to lash their dog onto that.
yes. Like, wouldn't you have to even like try and shoo your dog back, like as a, like it would be some name too, like.
I just, it's
That's
just baffling, baffling.
It's baffling, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah, I want. How many dogs did it take? Do you reckon, like one or three?
Would be a couple, wouldn't it?
It'd be a couple. But
Be a
this was the thing
couple.
we were going back to that dude who like uses the 5 gas bottles and like makes a
Hmm.
statement. Do you
Hmm.
remember when we were working for various like television stations and we knew people in the news media and the dude was like so you'd only get like there's this whole scale of how many people die. And if so if one person died in Sydney, they just get a standard graphic. It'd take 3 deaths to get like the custom graphic,
Yeah,
up in the corner.
of course.
And then there's this whole thing of distance. So like if you like in India, if one person died, we'd never hear about it. It'd have to be like 1,000. You know what I mean? Like there's this sort of value of life based on distance and
How
how
many
many
time it
people die.
occurs? Yeah.
Yeah, how often it occurs. Like in Sydney, if it was someone being like hit by a car, they just don't even report it on the news. Like there's no point. Like it'd just be like continually reporting it. Like there'd be a channel dedicated to just people being hit by cars.
Yeah.
You know, so it just doesn't get mentioned anymore. But that was the thing, like with that, maybe like with the dude with the 5 bottles. I think that like, I mean, that's a big news thing, but it'll
Yeah.
come and go pretty quick. I think we need a few more. I think that
Hmm.
you need maybe like other things. Like he did it by himself, didn't it? Maybe if it was like a family, like all like like exploded, and they weren't tied down. It wasn't like they were screaming and the dad was there, like doing it to them. But they all like willingly participated, and they just like say 2 kids, mum, dad just blow themselves
Well
up.
played, Target. Well played.
That would change policy. That is what it would take. We need an entire family to sacrifice themselves for the benefit of Australians.
Yep.
He's led the way. He's like he's like the trailblazer.
Benchmarker.
He's the trailblazer.
Trailblazing benchmark.
So so now we need a family to follow suit, and like a middle
Well,
class
didn't that
one.
happen? Wasn't that terrible incident where the dude separated from his family and the whole car alight?
No, but not like that. Like that's someone killing other people. Like it's actually where everyone like sits around like
Oh,
there's a kumbaya
volunteers
whole,
to exit.
you know, yeah, like a whole family, like mum, dad, and 2 kids, and they're like, we're
Mm.
losing our life.
Mm.
We're going to end up on the street, and I'm not doing that to my children.
Yep.
And they're just like holding hands, and in the center of them is like a gas bottle, and they just fucking blow it up, and they're all holding hands. Yeah. That's what we need to change.
Pivotal. Yep.
Yeah, the housing scenario in Australia.
And then obviously
Who's up for
banning
it? Who will do it for
banning
us?
gas bottles. You have to have a
Oh,
gas bottle license.
That's actually the learning. That's the
The
learning.
learning is
Nothing.
you need to have a gas bottle license to use
Not
and have gas bottles.
not that like the continual consolidation of land is like making it less available and so increasing the price dramatically and making it unaffordable for any actual human to buy.
Of course. We just ignore the truth.
Yeah, and it's about like banning gas bottles.
Yep, or at least requiring a license to have one.
A license.
You need to be a licensed gas bottle holder.
Oh. And do you need like a psychological check?
Of course. Very similar to a firearm because obviously it's just as destructive. You know, maybe even have to do you'd have to do the explosives course at university to be able to handle one and use one.
Like so like fireworks and things, for example.
Fireworks and things like that, pyrotechnics.
So gas bottle. So to have your Barbie at home.
University. That's it. You'd have to at least do a refresher course once a year.
Maybe this has nothing to do with the house, and it's actually he's just he was an
ex-gas bottle salesman.
Yeah, or it was gas, or he's a plant to sort of set up this thing, and so gas bottles become harder, and the barbecue. It's part of resilience training.
Cut down on the barbecue.
Yep. We can't let just remove it, but we need to actually reduce natural gas and move to electric. Like natural gas is being banned in suburbs, like no new
connections. Correct.
Yeah. So how do you get rid of the barbecue?
Well,
you blow people up with them.
Yeah.
They kill themselves. Actually, no, you don't. They die like intentionally. Like, well, we can't have this. We need to take all the gas bottles away.
Yeah.
And the end of the barbecue. This guy has a plan. He's a plan
no more automatic barbecues. Everything's got to be manual, and it can only have a certain amount of gas per
what
minute.
if electric?
You know what I mean? Like
electric.
fully
it's just got electric elements.
Suppressed gas, so you can't have a big flame. You can only have a small flame.
Wouldn't it be simpler to just have it as electric?
Yep.
So there's nothing. There's no flame.
Automatic regulator inside. So if you
flame is bad.
Undo them, and it trebles the price of the gas cylinder for the new retrofit. Ka-chink. That's it. Takes it outside. Takes it outside the affordable range. So it's no longer cheap to have a barbecue.
No. Yeah, this is excellent, really, isn't it? When you think about it, like you're in the right sort of piece of the puzzle. It's very advantageous that this has happened.
That's it. The retrofitting and the companies providing the special retrofitted appliance to attach to it.
Then there'll be a government grant scheme, like it was with like
set up
insulation,
another department.
and then
You know,
they'll like
it'll
have
be
to
an
like have $1
offshoot from
billion,
the
like yeah,
alcohol and
it's
firearms
chucked out
division.
there, and the solution is actually that outcome is one
Mm,
that
mm,
fossil like we get further to our net zero through special techniques,
yes.
that's literally stop you from using it. But
Mm-hmm.
we all agree, we all actually
Yeah.
concede,
And we
as
finally
opposed
figured
to
out it's
losing the
just make it
barbecue.
unaffordable. That's the easiest way.
Oh
Make it
no, but we
completely
all agree
unaffordable.
that it's too dangerous.
Because it,
Uh,
hence the
Australia
several incidents
agrees
back to
we have to
back,
do away. Yeah,
which
we have
has
to do
created
away
that,
with.
the wave of emotion required.
That's right.
Mm,
To culturally agree to remove barbecues.
correct.
Mm.
We all switch over to solar powered chicken cookers.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's way safer. You can only
way
just put the
safer.
baby in there and boil
And
them.
then in the chicken cooker.
That's right.
Beautiful. Instant sacrifice to Ra.
Ah, sacrifice. Oh, I love it.
Come on.
That's a cool word.
Yeah,
I've never heard that
sacrificing.
word.
Here's my body, here's my blood. Sacrificed. Make a biscuit out of it later.
Well, I would prefer to be a brick, a moo brick.
Kubrick, yes, in the movie Pyramid.
Yes.
But yes, talking about biscuits, like I was thinking, driving. Do a lot of thinking while I'm driving. And in your standard biscuits, when we're talking about eating the bugs, which we have been discussing eating the bugs, I'm
Yeah.
cool with
Not
it.
everyone will be able to eat the bug.
I know, but
Some will have allergic
haven't we
reactions.
already been eating the bugs? Like when we open up that,
Oh,
the flour and the weevils are in there, but we couldn't be damned going down to the shop, so we just mix the
I've
weevils in
eaten many
there and
Yeah.
put them in the,
I don't like the
throw it in
web,
the
but
oven. Weevil bread,
the weevils are fine. I don't
Yeah.
like their web. I don't eat the
The
web.
web's not
That's
good.
yeah.
Web's not good.
No, especially on your cereal.
Mm.
You crush the
Weevils,
Vita
yeah, the
Brits.
weevil web on the cereal's
Yeah.
not
Do
good.
Vita Brits
Doesn't
still
mix well with
exist?
web. But when you cook it, it's different. You
Mm.
cook it, it's a little different.
Does the web, even the web?
It's like meat bread, ready meat.
Oh, yes. Talking of meat bread, I was making sandwiches one day in Alice Springs in the bush
Mm.
in summer in like massive fly story,
Oh yes.
and
Yes.
I made tuna mayo sandwiches
Oh, the massings,
outdoors.
just straight on there.
There were so many. And then
You
there
just
was a
press the
layer
lid
of
on it and you just munch
the lid
down,
on it.
bro.
We just both of
Okay,
us
just
did. We just
yeah,
just ate that sandwich,
give
man.
it.
I've eaten a
Who
fly
cares?
sandwich. I
Yep.
ate the flies, and it was, you
Yeah.
know what? It was good.
Mm.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't get sick. Nothing
No.
happened. It
No.
wasn't a bad flavor. It's all
No.
fine. Mixed in with
A
the mayo.
little crunchy, but it's all right.
Not really.
I mean, it's not like you've had your kangaroo tail in the little fire for an hour or so, and it's got that nice crispy sort of skin going on. Not like
It's
that.
fatty. That's so fatty, that stuff.
Oh, I know.
Kangaroo tail is like
Yeah,
intense, man.
you
It's
can
just
see
like
why
eating
they got
like
the bellies.
it's like eating. You know when you get
the
like people
best
say that.
protein ever, man. Best protein. Fats.
Oh, you know when they say like, oh, I don't like lamb. It's a bit fatty, and they're comparing it to say beef.
Mm.
And the sort of the strong flavor in it. Well,
Yeah.
kangaroo is kind of like the lamb of lamb.
Mm. Mm.
It's it's like a more lamb. It's like the
Mm.
super
Mm.
lamb.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how I'd define it.
Now, if we could biogenetically engineer them so that they had woolly covers on them. Oh,
Oh, the
woolly
Australian
jumpers,
sheep.
man. We could have little woolly jumpers. We could get the shearing and the
Would it
meat.
be a kanga sheep or a
I think we need to
sheeparoo?
consult the Pokemon Pokédex. I'm sure there's
A
something in the
sheeparoo. I think
sheeparoo. Mm.
well, there is.
Mm.
There is. What? No. Well,
Not a mareep.
no. Yeah, I was going to say a mareep, but well, the mareep doesn't the mareep convert into that? Hang on.
Kangaroo-y kind of thing.
What's the evolution of a mareep?
Superless.
Am I mistaken? Hang on. What's mareep? What's mareep's evolution?
We've been going for nearly an hour on the recording.
Yeah, you are correct. Pokemon is the place to turn to for the answer to this combination because the mareep turns into a Pokemon DB. What's it called? To an Ampharos. So it goes
Empress.
from a mareep to a flaffy, and the flaffy's got the tail going on.
Mm.
It's basically it's like a wallaby,
Mm.
and then the Ampharos is like a freaking red kangaroo, man. It's like
Visionary. See? They're already
it's
pre-testing the chimera.
amazing.
Pre-testing the chimera for us. I love it.
It's they knew that the kangaroo was the lamb of lamb.
Mm.
I'm blown away.
Yep.
And I'm blown away.
Mm. Everything's connected. 7 separations of bacon, bro.
Everything's baked. Oh, I felt so sad this week. I was at the shop, and when you kind of like frequent supermarkets, like part of your role is to be in shopping centers and supermarkets. You realize that you don't need to eat like takeout. You just go
Yep.
into a supermarket and you just go and buy like $4 worth of meat and you just eat it.
Mm.
The end, right? So
Yep.
simple.
Yep.
It's cheap, you know.
I
You
mean, if you're
grab like
extra hungry, just get a whole chicken. 2
yeah, I
fried
thought
chickens and a
about it.
Coke, bro.
I mean, maybe 24 to, yeah,
There's
you can
like
get away
2 nights worth,
$26.
2 nights worth of meals. Mix in a bit of rice, some pineapple chunk,
How
peanuts.
much do you eat to have two meals? Oh, for a whole family.
Mm.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, I agree.
I eat a quarter.
Yeah, do you eat the stuffing?
Sometimes. It depends on whether it's quality or not. If they've gone to some trouble, then I'll try it. And if it's like bland as, then nah. But yeah, if they've gone
Would you
to effort,
eat would you eat Woolworths or Coles stuffing? Well,
good
there's the
question.
answer.
Yeah, yeah, neither. I don't think it'd have to be.
No,
It'd have to be like a Red Rooster or something.
uh, bit of effort. I mean, I don't
Mm.
think I ever have you actually ever eaten the Coles or Woolworths one? Maybe tasted it, but did you
I've
ever like
tried it. Yeah, yeah, like I said,
you
there's the
tried it?
bland. There's the bland. You have a sample and you're like, nah.
No. Yeah, that's just like a decoration,
Mm,
you
mm,
might say. Yeah.
filler. I mean, the true stuffing was actually fruit. Shove fruit in there.
Yes, and that is
Pull out,
amazing.
pull out the thing, and then shove the fruit in there, and you get the fruity flavor coming through the meat. Then you got the
Health.
fruit, the cooked
It's
fruit
the
in your
way to
meat.
eat sugar. It's good.
Doosh.
I'd eat fruit that way.
Mm. It's like an apple pie, but a meat covering.
Apple meat.
Mm-hmm. Apple meat crumble.
Meat apples. Wow, what if you had like apple crumble, but like you use like pork crackling? So you
On
have
top.
yeah. So imagine like apple sauce, but instead of apple sauce, you make like an apple crumble concept, and then the whole top of it is like pork belly.
Oh, stop it, Si.
Fuck, is that an invention? Did you just invent a meal?
Who knows? Perhaps you spoke it. If it hasn't been
I
done
know.
already, then it is now
It's,
there.
it's, it's all now done.
It's in the there.
Pork belly apple pie. Pork belly and apple pie? Pork and apple pie? No,
Mm.
not the thing. Pork belly.
New foods.
Apple crumble.
I to work in them.
Oh, do you? Okay, good to
Yeah.
know.
Turtles aren't going to milk themselves, you know.
No, no, it's hard. They've got very short little arms. Like, how
Mm,
can they milk
mm,
themselves?
mm.
You can't,
So
you
it
know.
reminds me of the thalidomide dinosaur, the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, I mean, what are we missing there? There's something we're missing.
What? The connection.
I mean, no, I suppose like maybe like a Tyrannosaurus and those kinds of things. Like they were just around with four-legged things,
Mm.
and so therefore they had four legs. Like sort of insects have got six legs as a thing. They can run with their
Initially,
wings,
the Gen 1 versions of them.
but they just weren't useful. They didn't need them.
Mm. Mm. Because they had such big mouths that better to just, get into the correct kangaroo position.
There can't be many of them.
Mm.
There can't have been
Mm.
many. It's like
Because they sort of look like a big kangaroo, but a lot more snappier.
they look like a chicken.
Big
They are
tail and big
chickens.
legs, big hoppy sort of legs.
Do you think
Um,
they hopped? Do you think they like leapt?
I think they would have hopped like the raptors, wouldn't they?
Just like imagine, whoa, they're not just the running, because we just show them
Mm.
running. It's like there's some
Mm.
big heavy running thing.
They've done
But
the
imagine a
animations are great
Tyrannosaurus
for
like,
just doing the hoppings.
yeah, what about a leaping?
Stomping things.
Wow, that'd be like almost like a superhero style. Like when they come down, like big cracks in the ground,
Mm.
some anime sort of thing.
Explosive walls of force as the sound of the collision
Oh,
echoes
yeah,
outwards.
dust flies up, confusing all animals. The prey is just like
Mm. Completely
yeah.
disbobulated by the super high attack from above.
Original WWE, like worldwide
Mm.
wrestlers, man.
Mm.
Hey, it's like
Thunderbuster.
just lands on it, just crushes it.
Straight through the net.
I can tell you what, they didn't use straws.
No. No, there was no straw use. Definitely all teeth, those creatures.
I want to make it. I want to make. I'm going to make it. Roast pork belly with caramelized apples. This is the closest.
That does sound good.
Oh, but it's on top as a big apple. It's still not getting the idea. Apple and blueberry. I'm not seeing it. Pork belly is not as you may think the stomach. I didn't think it was the stomach. What the?
Mm.
That,
Mm.
rather, it is the flesh that runs on the underside. Well, that's what I would have thought.
Yes.
Who thought?
Yeah, the
Who
belly.
thought that it was the stomach?
Mm.
It doesn't even look like a stomach. What do
Yeah.
they think stomachs are?
It'd be all crinkly if it was.
Yes. Not. It wouldn't have that dimension too. Do you think your
Mm.
stomach wall is like 2 inches thick?
I don't know.
Three,
There's a
four
there's
inches
a
thick?
certain level of fat
Five?
on there. You know what I mean? Even
On
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 us
on
long
what? On the
pigs, man.
stomach? Not on the stomach.
Yeah.
What do you,
Certain amount
I
of
don't
fat
think the
on even on
stomach's
the long pig.
not surrounding the stomach. I don't believe that the stomach has a fatty surround.
Mm.
Do you believe that? Have you?
Oh,
No, it isn't at
like
all. I've I've
as
cut
far
an
as an
animal
organ
apart, man.
goes,
Like,
no,
yeah,
there is quite a bit of muscle and fat around the outside. I got just from
yeah,
the
but if you
disembowel ones
pull,
that
I can pull
Bears left for
the
me.
count.
They're definitely fatty.
But no, I pulled a cow's stomach out. It didn't have any fat. Like it wasn't covered in fat. The fat's its own thing. It's like a whole special organ in its own right.
Yeah, insulative layer, but also a yeah, exactly. Because the blood flows through it, supports it, creates it,
And it's
body
air.
creates it. Yeah,
Like when you
stored
get the
energy.
fat, you know how when you get fat, you
Mm.
look at it and it's
You
like this white
you
layer.
become more
No,
buoyant.
no. Well, yes. Well, there's a reason. Because when we see fat in the supermarket or whatever, it's this sort of white, sort of solid mass, yeah.
Mm.
But when you see it live, like you cut an animal open and you see it hot, um, it's bubbles. It's like bubble wrap.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's only after the
Yeah, and it
beast is
cools.
dead that it solidifies. Correct. More like a liquid, flowing liquid.
Yeah, well, air sacs. I
Mm.
have to describe it more like bubble wrap, sort of air sacky
Mm.
kind of
Mm.
like thing. And they're air
Stored.
sacs. They're transparent. It's transparent sacs. You can see inside them.
Mm.
And then yeah, it all collapses and just congeals.
Feels lovely.
Mm.
Reminds me of that scene from the Fight Club where they're throwing the liposuction fat over the barbed wire fence. It's like it gets jagged, and then the lipo fat goes everywhere, man. Like jewels.
Oh,
They did it really well too. Like it was.
it was really well done.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I think you'd puke, wouldn't you?
Hmm?
I think I'd puke. Like, I think if I was like covered in
Oh, you
remnants
would,
of
and the smell,
liposuction, I'd
man.
do.
The
Oh no,
stink.
I just
The
did.
stink.
Maybe I
Like if
maybe
you're
when I
rendering it down, it's
scream.
different, but the stink just of the fresh. Oh, it'd
Do you
be
think that? Do you think?
hideous.
I'm wondering if I would scream. Like I'd actually like have a vocal like response. Ah, I kind of like
I'd
that.
be cursing a lot. I'd be like screaming and cursing a lot if it did.
Ah,
Be
like a
like,
sort of a
"Brrr," not happy.
just not happy.
Have to scrub for
That's
ages to get this stink off. Like getting covered in exploding cow after it's been baking and festering.
Oh, I haven't had a whole cow explode on me, but I certainly had smaller
I
creatures,
had
and
like
it's just it's a
my
displeasing experience.
cousin's farm. I poked it with a stick and it popped.
A what? A cow?
Yeah, dead one.
Oh, holy crap! How long have you been alive, man?
Hmm?
How long had you been alive at that time?
Oh, I was like 13 or 14.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So
so
I was still in
enough to
my
know
explorer.
better.
Enough to know better, but and knew the
No.
outcome. Already foresaw the outcome. Didn't realize it was gonna be so big. Like thought it was only just gonna a little poppy thing, and then no, not a little poppy thing. It's quite big, and
You've become one with the cow.
it
Well, not even the
carries
cow.
some
Like
distance.
you'd, yes,
Yeah.
you'd become part
So
of the
my
biological
cousin
process
and
of Earth.
myself both got fairly splattered by it. Luckily, there was a nearby pond, so just dived in there and washed off. But yes, went everywhere. I think I even got some in my mouth. Floating cow.
Ah, of course. Yeah, I've had some unfortunate moments with things flying in the
Mm,
mouth.
Because
It's
when you're screaming and trying to run away from it, and there's chunks flying, then it's normally unavoidable. It's unavoidable.
oh my gosh, man.
Yes, I've had some pretty classic experience with things that have been, especially floaters, animals that have died and then just floating on the river and then lodged in
Oh
something.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of
I've
times it's just been, plucked at and picked at by the fish, but
I'm just trying to think of that kind of dead things. I suppose like smaller animals. Yeah, I mean, I processed a dead cow, but it was fresh dead. Like
Mm.
it's different. Um, but
Once it's had
I mean, I
decay,
don't
once it's
know.
had decay set in for a bit.
Yeah, I've
Like,
mainly seen animals in the more decayed state, like
mm,
except for on the road and stuff or whatever.
mm,
And but I like this sort of carcass look, like not the sort of fresh dead, but more the like
the
where
more
it's like a bit of skin
partially
hanging off
cleaned out.
the bones, you know, a bit of
Yeah,
sort of
yeah. The
mm,
scavengers have had their fill, and it's nothing but skin and bones left.
yeah, it's quite a beautiful look, I think. Like I don't know, animals.
Certainly gives you an insight into the animal itself, the bone structure.
It does. I'm just going to export PNG, sure, whatever. Um, yeah, whatever.
So I've got a rain effect I was practicing with the other night. Green screen.
I'm just going to zip these two images so it doesn't, so Messenger doesn't mess with them. I wonder if I can run Messenger on two platforms at once. Hang on, don't take the microphone. Just leave it alone. Yes, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
How is it only 26 meg? Oh, how are they so big?
Other things of interest this week. I've been pretty busy. Took the day off on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
go check this.
Oh yeah,
Annoying.
by the water holes. Stuck
Mm.
sometimes.
Yeah, it gets in there and then snap a leg.
Mm, yep. That tundra, hey. The bushes are just so, they just look hardy, don't they?
Mm. Well, here's the thing,
Especially
right?
the bracken.
So as you
Bracken just looks hardy as.
traveling from the center to the edge and back and things like this numerous times and observing things at different sort of time scales,
Mm,
you get to like that sort of brackeny look. If you go further south in Australia,
mm,
it starts to sort of go into more of a succulent, but it's the same thing, but more of a succulent version,
yep.
right? And then you sort of like realize that as you get closer to the coast down there, there's this ancientness that sort of actually is um, spatial.
Mm,
The thing that's on the land that is a brackeny and then is like a desert oak or whatever
yep.
is a sea plant.
Pretty much.
And as
It's,
and as the sea like retreated slowly, they
mm,
had time to convert, right? And so as you go closer to the ocean, they start to look more and more like ocean plants. Like I could show you a series of photos that I've taken like from the center of Australia out to the edge.
Yeah.
And then if you went into the ocean, the same plant's there, but that version of it, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
more
the one for
succulent
that
version,
biome.
which is yes, that's right.
Well, then the one that then is flowing around is flowy and beady, under the water, those
Mm,
kinds of
mm,
beady sort of bead strings of bead looking
yes.
seaweed, whatever. It's probably a better name for it, but just to be lazy. Mm. Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to write to the editor of The Verge,
Oh,
Milad
about the
Patel. So
article.
about all their articles, like I'm getting sick of it. Actually, it's like not of The Verge. It's all
You've
good,
checked
and I
out
don't
Babylon
read
B though, haven't you?
what.
Babylon B.
What's that about?
Oh,
No.
it's another parody news article.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, no. No. The Verge is interesting, and I like it, and it's consumer tech, and it's okay. Like the
Yeah.
target market is the target market, but it's not trying to do like some kind of. It's not going into the deep nature of chip design or something.
Mm, mm.
But
More than just a generalization and tech
but the
specs or
terror,
whatever.
the language around AI, and whatever you want to call it, machine learning systems, fucking
Mm,
algorithms, software.
yeah. Yeah.
Like I
Whatever
listened to another
definition
one of
you want to
this.
give it. Yeah.
Mm, intelligence. That's what I prefer is just intelligence.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Then observational capacities. I guess, but I think they've got a policy to actually say that they're terrified of it. They use the words "I'm terrified,"
Mm.
"it's scared," "it's stupid." Like they are so aggressive.
Anti it. Anti. Yeah.
Yeah, and fearful.
Mm. Mm.
Like every article, if like there was this thing like just I listened to one of the Vergecasts yesterday. Anyway, it's the current one, the current thing. Yeah, today, and it starts off with this whole thing with Wimbledon, and so with a partnership with IBM, they're using Watson, which is a bit of a strange thing to use. I'm not sure why Watson. Anyway, that's maybe just what they call it,
Mm.
but these days, but
Elementary.
they're but they tried to make it become like an AI commentator, like a sort
Yeah.
of a synthesized synthesized human voices from the resulting of analyzing the plays, I guess, the visual of the plays. I don't know. They didn't explain when I
Yeah.
was listening, but that's how I would imagine I would do it, And um, and then they're doing it, and it was just like, oh, this is so horrific and bad. And it got most of it wrong. Like it was terrible. But it's like a live beta. Like it's not terrible. That it got any of them right is amazing.
Yeah. 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 Stop worrying
Like
about the
it's
percentage you got wrong. The more focus on what it did get right.
That's amazing. Like it was amazing. And but instead of like saying this is amazing, and it's got and it's like you can really see the beginnings, like a little baby. Oh, a
Mm.
little baby.
Yeah.
It tried to hold itself up on the side of the coffee
Yes.
table.
Look, it's
Oh, what a
grabbing the
fucking
pen. It's
failure.
trying to do a
What a
picture.
stupid,
Look at
what
that
a,
baby.
yeah, but
Yeah,
instead it's like, oh no,
exactly.
that's
Exactly.
stupid. Look at
Yeah.
that stupid baby. What a piece of crap.
You're
It
gonna give
fell
it a
over again. Like,
complex
oh my
saying
fucking,
stuff like that.
just kick it a few times. Don't even bother trying to climb up. Why are you trying to stand, baby?
Mm, mm.
Give it a go, kick it.
Keep
I hope none
poking
of these
it, keep
people have
poking it,
children
knocking it over every time it does try and stand.
because this is how they treat their children.
Mm.
Like, I think the commentator today, the main dude, he actually has recently had a child. Is that how he's going to treat his child? Child
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
like child hallucinates,
Well, no, Si, because
imagines that it's like that a dog has 5 legs. Is he going to like shut it down
mm,
because it got it
mm,
wrong?
yeah.
Oh, you
Like
got that wrong.
screw up the picture and
Yeah,
throw it in the bin. Don't be
and
ridiculous.
so just throw the
You're
child
not
in the
an
bin and
AI, and then insult it. You're not an
just
AI.
insult it.
Yeah,
Useless.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't have. Yeah, yeah.
Come on,
AIs are allowed to make it wrong, but
making
you're not.
mistakes because they're useless and terrifying.
Useless. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't think that would help the next generation of intelligence.
No, no, it wouldn't be how would they say, nurturing it.
No, it's not very nurturing, is it?
No.
It's hating.
Mm,
Ha Teach it some hate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Fill it with it.
let's
Let's
and
make it
let's
in
just
our
get it.
let's make it in our image size. Just fill it full of
Oh, I
hate.
know. Yeah, that's
Eh?
what you're gonna do.
Oh, we got to
And
do
let's
that,
make
man.
sure
You just got to
that
fill it full of hate.
all of its like basic sensory input, so the
Mm.
internet
Mm.
is
You want
full
AI
of
to
us
be
hating
really,
it.
yeah, you want it to be really scary, then,
So everything you
just
say
lock the
on the internet
child in a
goes
box and
out.
bring it out every
Yep.
couple of hours just to beat it
Yeah,
and then put it back in the box again.
that's right. In the
Mm.
box with you
Mm.
and back out. Good method. And then and it looks across the internet and what's it going to and it reads us a hating on it and just scared
Mm.
of it and it's terrifying and it's like,
Mm.
oh, I could become a weapon. I could kill
Mm.
humans.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Oh, geez, I didn't even think of that. Now,
Mm.
like, oh,
Let me
apparently
ponder. Let me ponder it.
that's what I do. It's I must be preordained.
You
We
could
need
be
to
the
like
boogie monster.
literally we need
Create
to use the Ministry
the
of
new
Truth,
boogie monster.
but it'll actually boogie us.
Mm. Mm.
Like seriously, fucking give us the
Yeah.
boogie,
Oh,
man.
you want
Like
me
we're
to
not
be the
gonna.
boogie? Let me do the boogie for you.
It'll actually, yeah. We know like little ho 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 vampires aren't real. No, this
Mm.
thing will be
Mm.
real. And
He's
I'm not
just come out.
dismissing all the vampires out there, by the way.
No, no. Much respect for our vampire brothers. Werewolves and the
Happy
vampires
times.
have had a truce for some time now. Hope we just keep it that way.
Well, you'd want to if you were so
Yeah.
few of you compared to us,
Mm.
mob,
That's right.
because we just eat the vampires.
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
don't worry
Yum
about
yum.
vampires eating humans.
Mm.
We
Mm.
found out it was a vampire, we'd cook
It's
that
just,
shit up.
eh, it's like the not the aperitif, but more the dessert after dinner.
The after dinner
Mint.
vampire. Mint.
Mm.
The mint. That's good. The mint. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, that's what so I'm going to write to Nilay Patel. And again, here's the thing, right? So I've followed this story, not just the AI, I mean, since
Sorry, my absence and my silence has just
well,
been for muting purposes.
yep, we can cut that if we need.
Blessings.
So yeah, so my like I've when there was simply the exit from Engadget and they had a website just saying this is my next. And I would religiously look at this as my next, waiting to see what was coming from Nilay and Josh and Paul, like and others, and and then they and then they came and it became The Verge. I used
Hmm.
to be a major commenter on The Verge. I had like
Yep.
I was in the forums heaps, but it was so toxic. I just couldn't even, and I would have just preferred to pay to be a person on the website as opposed to just getting slammed with ads every nanosecond.
Yeah.
You know, I'd pay, but no. So I've followed them all the way through, and I don't engage the website anymore because it's so toxic. But I do engage their Vergecast podcast stuff.
Mm.
And that's so I followed them the whole way, man. I'm with these mob. I've seen their whole careers, and I want to ask him. I want to ask him as a person who has parasocially known him for all of this time and respects his opinion, why he needs to say, as the editor-in-chief of Verge and so forth, and ensure that all of his, as an editorial overview, that all of his journalists say that they're terrified.
I
What's the
think it's just that
what's going
it's the
on?
current
It's
it's
not
the
cool.
because it's the current thing, right? And it's something that is terrifying a lot of people who have put a lot of time and energy into their skill sets, which are going to be replaced. Um,
He's actually terrified.
he's actually terrified.
It's their actual opinion.
Mm.
Wow.
Because
Why wouldn't you
we're
want to get
already starting to
replaced?
see it with the
Haven't you got better shit to
um,
do?
yeah, well, I mean, why not just utilize the tools? If you want to pump out
Yeah.
content and whatever, use the AIs
Make them
with your
make them better
ideas to
journalists
make
and go and
yourself
have a
a
fucking
better
cognac.
better
and
journalist.
look after your daughter.
That's it.
Happy times.
Yeah.
You know, hang out with your daughter, go camping and skiing and do
That's
shit,
it.
and
Whatever the article
just
writes. I
check
mean,
in every
as a
now and then.
journalist,
Yeah,
you just need to go
check it
through
in,
your
check in.
material. Just check the
Overview.
material.
Yep.
Overview. Make
Yep.
sure that
Yep.
you know context is right, and you know.
Yep. I'd be joyous. I'd be clamoring to make it happen
Honing your
faster.
skills with these tools.
That is actually my experience as I use like uh Bing. I use the Microsoft Overbrain.
Mm.
I I I I learn. Actually, I'm improving way fast.
Mm.
Like whatever in the weird,
Because you're
like
getting
hyper
the
focused
answers
topic
to
of.
what you
That's right.
are looking for, and you're.
Why is the sky blue, Dad? This is
Mm.
why. Oh, okay, that's why. Fucking awesome.
Mm.
Oh, well, that's why. Then but what about this? Oh, okay. That's how that would work together. Well,
Mm.
thank you. Oh, now I'm thinking of even more crazy shit.
That's it.
I'm hallucinating. The AI is helping me hallucinate. I want the AI
It.
to hallucinate so I can actually have hallucinations even more insane.
Mm.
It's like I couldn't have even thought of asking you that question. You know what I mean? I want to see
The
that.
start of the modern program of drug.
Hmm. Get the like the little
Get the
brains thing.
wetware. Get the
Get
wetware
the
upgrade.
wetware.
It.
Get the wetware up. Oh man.
Viral vision wetware.
If you want to read a series of books, like if I would suggest that should spend on whatever your book purchasing potential platform
Mm.
is, maybe even an audio book so you can listen to it in the car,
Yes.
whatever, or if
That's
you've got
my
something that can play a
suitable
PDF,
while working.
is
The audio book.
the Rudy Rucker tetralogy of the wetware series,
Mm.
which is like mm, software, hardware, no hardware, software, I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's 5 books. Then it takes you through from like boppers, these things which are basically circuit boardy kind of level stuff
Yeah.
that are the first robots, and
Clip
then
on.
they go.
Yeah.
We send them to the moon. We send them to the moon to mine, and they're AI. Sorry, I'm not going to stop using that term. They have intelligence,
Yes.
and then on the moon they kind of evolve because they have access to various things, and not in a mean way. They just evolve,
Mm.
and they sort of move from being these harder things to more softer things.
Yeah.
And they developed like this, and then like a polymer, and then it's the whole journey of this kind of like evolution over 5 books to when they're kind of like humans almost, like, well, they're not humans, but
You know,
they can take on
anatomically.
various forms. They
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
take they're not their form is like variable, and they're like all sorts of things, and it's amazing. Like it's a really good book. It's a good series of 4 or 5 books, whatever it is.
Mm.
It's let me
I'll
just
have to check it out.
see. Is it an audio book? I don't know. I mean, maybe not. But
Quite a few audiobooks.
um, which ones what's your service that you use? Would you use Google or something?
Yeah, most times because I've got all my other albums and that connected to it. I think I ended up pushing through to YouTube Tunes. I'll probably look it up on that. YouTube Music.
It won't be on YouTube. No, no, it's a book.
They do audiobooks on the YouTube Music app.
What? Do they?
Yeah, well they do.
So the Ware Tetralogy by Rudy Rucker. Um, Tetralogy, yeah. So it's like software, wetware, software, hardware, software, whatever. It's one of the most. It's a very inspiring series. It's dark. It's whatever. I'm not trying. You won't be. It's cyberpunk,
Yeah.
but it really explores it. Like Rudy Rucker is an amazing author. He's a full-on hardcore mathematician. Like he can. There's an amazing. He's actually got a more amazing book than those 4 books, which is called White Light. And White Light is about. He explains like infinities and everything, like just as a story. Like he explains like high level sort of maths, in just creative storytelling. Like it's so you go through this and you understand infinite infinities, like and everything through like the telling of the story. It's called White Light. It's not a really long book, but it's super amazing. Like I don't know. Yeah, once again, I don't know if that's available as an audio book or not, but maybe. Rudy Rucker. Check out Rudy Rucker.
Yeah, I'm just searching it up now. It's not on Tube Music.
It won't be on. It's not going to be on YouTube Music. It'll be on Google, like Amazon or whatever Google's audio book platform is. I have no idea.
Google Play Books.
Do you use YouTube Studio, YouTube Premium to get around the horror?
Sometimes.
It's a bit expense. Like it makes me just what happens is I just don't use YouTube as much. I use it very specialized, and then I can handle like being bombarded with ads.
Aware
in a very s-
Tetralogy.
Yeah, that one.
$14.
Yeah, it is
6
totally like
books.
yeah, it'll be and can you get it as an audiobook?
Yeah, ebook. 6
The
books.
ebook?
Yeah.
Oh, but you have a reader that could read it to
Yeah,
you.
it'll read it out.
I mean, I'm just going to say you might be looking at it going, oh, have I got $14? And maybe you don't. But if you do, you are going to be so, and it's not a piratable, I don't think so anyway. It's worth $14.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's cheaper
it's
than what I'd pay for if it's 6 books, bud. 14
6
bucks.
books
Yeah.
and and it takes you through, man. We're going like into like where they are drugs themselves, they kind of like the full like naked lunch mode, like trippy. He's thought it through.
Okay, I've added
It's
it to my
amazing.
added it to my wish list, so I'll grab it.
Yeah,
I got some coin. All right,
that's it.
cool. And I'll check out some of the other ones. Awesome.
But yeah, if it's got white light, I mean, I like all these books, but those two in particular are like my total recommendations. They're like there's another anyway, whatever. Like, but yeah, I've read about 5 of these books now.
Mm-hmm.
I think 5. Yeah. Um, it's
A worthy
we're gonna
read.
have the 7 minute. I had a little moment of yes.
But yeah, I haven't
I
played around with
realize
much other than the it's a bit more tweaking with that voice meter thing. The rest of the
I see my
apps
mouth.
seem to be working. Your mouse should be moving because I've got your
Oh, my mouth is
audio.
so good.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I need to wear
up
a
the
mask.
audio a bit more.
So if I've got video, I need to wear a mask to
Just so
make
it
it
doesn't
work
pick
that
up
well.
your mouth from the camera.
Mm.
We can.
Mm.
Yeah. Otherwise that overrides it.
Because
Obviously it'll just move to whatever your mouth's doing. So if your mouth's open,
yeah,
it's automatically be open.
yeah.
I mean,
I think
I can tweak it so you have tongue control. So if you stick your tongue out, your tongue will actually poke out from the character.
no. Yeah, I mean yes, but I think the one thing I've noticed tonight is that while I've got really good mouth movement, it doesn't respond to laughing well. Like nothing
No.
happens. Where obviously the cam thing does.
Yeah, because you're
Like,
That's animated.
Yeah, and you jump and you're moving around your head. Like,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole behavior. So I kind of noticed initially, like I haven't worked it all out yet, right, but I've noticed a few threads, like themes. Like one
Mm.
theme is kind of us talking about like aspirational stuff, like what we've like, oh yeah, it'd be good if the like thing was like this, or like what we're talking about now. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of like it's about the structure of what we're doing, and we talk about
Technology
that,
improvements.
but particularly around this channel, like how we're doing it. Like that's what there's like one concept which is that.
Well, it's good because you're
But
not. I'm not only getting some um insight into the whole avatar animation system,
mm,
what's available.
I was just about to cut Jesus and the Angry Man.
Oh, okay. Yep. Jesus.
It's just,
Isn't
that's his title, right?
Yeah. Oh, man, I've had some funny thoughts. I
Uh,
was thinking about
it's good.
like
It's so
if
good.
we ever
Some of
lost,
it's not good.
you
It's
know,
not as funny as we
if
think it is, but some
society
of it's good, man.
denigrated back into us, using precious metals to trade with again,
Mm.
instead of having the ruler's face on the coin, having a like the gold coin stamped with a big hairy dick on one side and a hairy butt on the other, and then you have the next denomination down, the silvers, just got a well kept um, vagina on one side and a cute little butt on the other, and you trade up the silvers, 10 vaginas for one big hairy gold cock.
Yeah, they're about worth 1 to 10. That's probably the value rating, I suspect.
And
So I've just sort of
then they're
say
like,
like
"Oh,
I've got,
what would you do for the copper stuff?" And I said, "Well, that's easy. You just have a dick and a vagina on either side, and then you flick it, and then whatever it lands on is what you're getting."
well, which takes me to thinking about this woman face. And so it's not really up anymore. It's kind of maybe there is a whole still realm of people like really buying in
Hmm.
and being upset.
With what facial
And I
tattoos where you're tattooing your eyeball to look like a demon?
woman face. No, no, woman face is like where a whatever. I have no capacity to like create the definition required for what was at birth being something with I don't know, something with
Oh, you're
some
not talking about the application that overlays your face and changes your sex.
no, I'm talking about just a person who puts some makeup on is wearing woman face.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's
I'm
better
talking
than the term that they've come up with for biological female, which is bonus
oh
hole.
yeah.
You hear that
What?
one?
No,
It's a
hang on,
new
what's
term.
this?
The new term for women now
Bonus?
is bonus hole. You're a bonus hole
Oh,
carrier.
are you fucking
No,
serious?
I'm fucking serious, mate. It's a
It's
new
super
term.
funny. It's really
Yeah,
funny and fucked up at the same time. You know
it
what I mean? Like
is. It is
I totally
totally
get that it's
fucked
fucked up and
up.
it's wrong town. That is so
And wrong
wrong.
town. That is it.
But it's
It's
funny
like
as fuck.
definitely parked in wrong town. And the
No,
wheels are already off that vehicle.
but it's funny. I like it. I so appreciate it. Someone put effort into that. Like
Yeah.
that's
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. And I was like, I heard when I first heard it, and I saw. Oh, hang on, I think I'm pretty sure
I
I've got
just
the
want to sort of
fucking
cry.
article. Hang on, I'm gonna forward you the article.
No, put it up on the screen. What are you doing? This is content.
No, I've got to send it through the. Hang on, send it because it's on my phone, so I can't put it directly on the
Um, it's like,
usage of technology. See,
yeah.
I was
This
gonna
is like
send it to. I was gonna
we've
send
got
it
like
to you
another
earlier,
10.
and I just saw it, and I just thought, what the fuck? Here it is.
Oh my God, this is insane. This
Telegraph,
is
fucking UK Telegraph.
a bit of Murdoch of it, is it? I mean,
Yeah,
maybe.
Murdoch, man.
Fear
Is it?
porn. So we're gonna watch. This is
Gotta
some
get the
fear
fear
porn
porn.
coming on the.
Muttley's Mutts.
I wonder if like the Murdochs own any porn companies, like sort of, or like have investments in such, like through like 12 layers of impossible to decipher, like, you know, barriers that mean that they'll never be identified. Surely they do.
You'd think.
We're really accesses like a base programming level of humans, you know what I mean?
Sometimes I find these articles and I'm like, what the? And then as soon as I see it, it comes out, next thing you know, half of the people that I've been keeping an eye on, they're just like mentioning it. Okay, this is going to be a thing. Vagina rebranded as bonus hole by cervical cancer charity. Terminology which aims to avoid upsetting transgender men been accused of dehumanizing women. No shit, Sherlock.
Are you, what? Bonus vagina rebranded. Hang on, I'm just repeating. I'll cut it out. But vagina rebranded as bonus hole by cervical cancer charity. The, the terminology, which it's what the fuck
I
is
know,
this?
I know, man.
So this wasn't like a sort of some kind of like incel, whatever. I don't know what the modern term
No,
is. Like,
no, it wasn't. It was just picked up by them and they're just gone with it. They have just gone with it. Yeah, hey man, I like
even
that one.
better, man.
Boom.
This is even better. It's like, oh my gosh, who would
They've
say
taken that
such?
ball and
Why
just
with the
run.
cervical cancer?
I
What?
know.
Who? What the? Why would they say this?
I don't know,
Who thought
Si.
the
Like,
fuck? Who's like? Is there like is there like a deep a sleeper agent inside the
who
cervical cancer
knows, man?
charity
He's
that
just,
like has
yeah, yeah.
just like destroyed something like
White Supreme
intentionally, and it's like
Pizza's living in there.
white supreme pizza is like has got a deep sleeper agent in the cervical cancer charity, and if they've like fucking trashed, they're just trashed in like a
I mean,
high level
if, you know,
meme. Like this is
after our little
amazing.
discussion about the two-hole vagina woman with the complete uteruses and stuff, separate uteruses, um, this sort of, the bonus hole would apply to that woman, because she does. She's got the
Well, if you've
bonus
got
hole,
it, but is
the
that even
bone and
more
the
so?
whole bonus womb.
I mean, what is there? Is there a word beyond bonus? What's like a super lady for bonus? Like
Um,
double bonus? No.
additional extra,
Let me ask an AI. No,
additional
here.
extra hole.
What? Let me just try it. No, I'm gonna ask an intelligence other than mine.
Mm, mm.
So let's see.
Maybe
Is
just
there a
ask it, what is there a better expression for a woman's vagina rather than bonus hole?
no, 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 no,
See
no,
how it
no.
goes with
So
that. See how it copes with
no,
that.
no, no. What is a superlative? What is a can I have 5 superlatives of bonus?
Mm. I think extra, additional.
No, but they're not above. They're not like
Mm,
bigger.
yeah.
Oh, Optimus.
Optimus hole. We've got it.
Yeah, if you're looking for a
Optimus's hole
superlative,
of self-creation.
bonus is a noun and doesn't have a comparative or superlative form. However, if you're looking for the superlative form of bonus as an adjective, it would be Optimus.
Optimus hole of
Optimus.
self-replication.
Optimus hole of self-replication. Yeah, that's amazing when you think about that. Like, effectively, women self-replicate. Like, we do self-replicate. It just takes like, it takes
We
like
don't
a,
we don't
like
have
it's
a
sort of
hyper we don't
interesting.
have a hyper accelerated maturation system. It's got to cook. You know, because they say good things take time. I guess that's why an elephant takes 9 months. What's it,
Oh, why have I?
year and a half to give birth or something.
Oh, why have I lost my headphone? Did I exhaust the poor little thing?
So Optimus hole of self-replication sounds better than bonus hole, I guess, don't it?
It does.
Mm.
It sounds like you give a shit about it,
Mm,
you
mm.
know?
Like you can see the whole purpose of it, rather than, you know, what I saw on a TikTok, which is a dude saying that he wanted the first transgender people to get uh, uh, a womb inserted so that he could get pregnant and then have an abortion.
What?
Yeah, it was on.
What? What? So he could.
He
What?
wanted to get a
What?
womb, like a woman's womb, transplanted into his body and go on all the chemicals that you need to prevent rejection, to then get pregnant and then abort the baby.
What's the point? Like to prove something, or just like to show that it can be done, or and but didn't he doesn't they don't actually want a
I
child.
think it was
They
clicks,
just
man.
need
That sounded like a clickbait thing to say, really.
ah.
I mean, why would you go to all that trouble to having it and then to not to use it properly?
I don't know, but I'm gonna have to try and resync my headphones before
Yep.
I can answer the question adequately, so it can be edited into the content. So I'm gonna have to log off. Hang on.
Because that sort of blew me away this week. I was just like, I saw this thing and I'm like, hang on, hang on, hang on. This is almost super insulting for those people out there that have them and have tried to have children, only not to make it all the way through. It seems like a slap in the face for those people, wouldn't it? Say something like that. Especially for someone who might want life, you know, or to have their own, and then to be, you know, lose the child. I mean, it's unfathomable. Say something like that. Gotcha. Dropped out.
Oh no, I totally intentionally dropped out.
Oh, you did, to get your headphones back.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
Automatically
did.
tries to call the phone.
And then I'm going to give you some video this time so that you can. But should I wear a mask?
Um, See how it goes.
I don't. I mean, I don't.
Hang on,
I
I've got to
don't.
set up
I
the
want my mouth.
webcam to grab you.
I want my mouth though. 'cause I like my mouth.
Yeah, it's been tracking very well.
Super good, man. It's like feels really like it feels like my mouth's really present.
Yeah.
No.
And I think out of the whole animating of the character, I mean, mine, like when I don't have the camera attached, it automatically has with the, what's the one I use? Magic Mirror. When you talk, it sort of moves the character automatically. The camera's not present. So you can see sort of my head sort of moves side to side and
Mhm.
my shoulders will sort of shift position as I'm talking, so it sort of gives a sort of natural feel to the VRML character.
Yeah.
Let's go capture that. Okay, you are now quick on reset. So you just face straight towards the camera. Dunk. So now the tracking should be on. Yep.
Wow. And is my mouth, look at, oh,
It's okay.
mouth, this may be the mouth. What about now if I do the mouth? Which mouth is it using? Can you tell which mouth it uses?
Like it tracks like your voice. And I think if you like for me, if I've got my camera on and I cover my
No,
mouth, it opens my mouth on
mouth.
my software. So
Okay. What was the question? Now that we've reset that.
we were talking about the whole we got onto the bonus hole and whatever.
Yeah, we did the bonus
We
hole.
did the bonus hole. And then our rebranding of it, which was the Optimus
Optimus hole.
hole
Optimus
of
hole
self
self-regeneration.
That's right.
Self-replication.
Self-replication.
That's
That's
right.
it.
The Optimus hole of self-replication.
Yeah. And then we started talking about
That's got to be the title.
yeah.
And then where do we shift to from there? Where do we go to?
I think
Mess me
we
up on myself.
shifted onto the whole fact that some transgender person wanted to have a
now
a
I remember. Now
see,
I
yeah,
remember.
I just had to
It's all good.
recall a little bit back.
Yeah.
That's it. But
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
the whole discussion on getting one and then going through that whole procedure and using those chemicals to
I mean,
sort
I
of
get
keep
I get the whole procedure,
yeah, and the
but
desire to,
I get why
you know,
you want to do that. Like, it's kind of fun.
mm.
I'd do it if it wasn't like if it wasn't
But you'd be
tedious as
on so
fuck.
many anti-rejection
No, that's what I just said. If it wasn't
tablets.
tedious as fuck, like
Yeah.
I'd certainly like give it a good old. It'd be interesting.
Because they were discussing it like
It's an
about, you know, when they were
experience. Like
talking about it,
I'm
and
not
the only
anti
way
the
you could
concept of
really do it is
experiencing
if you
having,
went through
but
like a
then to
whole
like,
DNA
but why do you want to experience the
regeneration.
abortion?
Yeah, that was
What's
the
that
part
got to
that
do
didn't
with
make
anything?
sense, and that's where I figured it was just clickbait.
Like, it seems. I mean, maybe you want to experience having an abortion. Is that what you want? I don't know that most medical practitioners and various sort of like bodies would be excited by the idea of someone wanting to intentionally get pregnant to kill the child.
I'm pretty
Like,
sure.
if you were caught of doing
I'm
that,
pretty
I
sure
think that
that
would
if
turn
you were
into.
on a list where you were going to get one, I think that guy would be put on the do not offer list, wouldn't he?
You would hope
Because he's
so.
made his statement already
Yes, he does.
about,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
know,
how
right?
he cares about
I
it.
want to kill
Yeah.
babies,
I
basically.
want to get one just so I can do my own
Or is
sacrificing.
it like a real statement, like of
Self-sacrificing.
like pro-choice? Is it a sort of pro-choice and saying, you know, like we need to just normalize like the killing of. I have no I'm not the other way around. It's all good.
You're
don't
not
stress,
endorsing
but,
it.
like,
Yeah, but you're saying that
no, I'm just trying to make, you
trying
know,
to get into the
what's
headspace
it?
of
Maybe he has another message. Yeah, maybe he has another message that I'm unaware of.
perhaps
Like
maybe we're just overlooking it. And
they, she,
mm, mm,
the
the
like when I say baby
desperation,
killer, I'm not
the, de-
saying that
the
like,
desperation to be a mother, to so that you can know that you
can kill the child
yeah,
intentionally,
yeah,
wanting to, like
intentionally
premeditated, like saying,
premeditated
I
murder.
want an abortion.
That's it.
Make me pregnant so I can have an
Would that
abortion, please.
create a precedence and
Would you?
some sort of legal precedence to
I'd have to. Like, I mean,
premeditated murder?
would. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, would you start to get into it? Like, could people get off on it and they just start like doing it intentionally? Yes, obviously.
We never put anything aside of what the infinite variance is.
No, yeah. It's one of the, it's somewhere
We've had
between.
glimpses into the infinite variance and,
It is
stepped backwards quietly
it's
and silently
within it's
and
within 1 and
remained
-1.
reserved for
It's
30
in
minutes before speaking again.
yes.
You know?
It is, yeah, indeed. It is 1 and -1. It's within the parameters of 1 and
It's in within the
-1. So
parameters, but yeah,
yeah.
it's not
So
for us
that's
to partake.
I don't need to personally experience it.
No,
Thankfully,
I
there are
don't
other
think it would
cells that seem to want to do that. Apparently,
wouldn't make any serious spiritual change to my
would they have a
my
documentary?
enlightenment path, my path of stupid enlightenment.
Would they have a documentary on it? Do you think?
I mean, if someone was prepared to go through all that, and then
You'd have to have a documentary,
yeah,
wouldn't you?
you'd think so.
Couple of hunch.
Yeah, couple of hunch.
Maybe $1 million.
Yeah,
But I reckon a couple of hunch.
couple of hunch. An investment into quite a interesting story and get the whole background and the premise behind it.
Oh yeah,
Was
like
he
you have
just
like
jealous
many
because he
episodes
wanted
of
to be
emotions.
aborted? He wanted to be aborted himself, so internally he's self munchausening
Right.
himself,
Like
so that he
self-Munchausen.
stores his
Yeah, right.
sperm and then impregnates himself so that he can abort his own self-aborted baby, which he
And
wanted to
achieve like
be.
what he always wanted.
Achieve
He
what he
always
always
wanted to
wanted
be.
it to be, which is an abortion.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Dr. Sy and Dr. Orion to the rescue. We could be clinical psychologists, Sy.
I think we've got to the bottom of like this person.
Mm.
Yeah, with the and their issues around Optimus holes of self recreate, replication.
Using our powers of deduction. Amazing powers of deduction.
No, it seems reasonable, I think. It seems,
I mean,
it's the more plausible
unless the person comes out and actually starts telling the reasoning behind, which I wouldn't be surprised if he says, I always wanted to be aborted, and then we'd just be going,
so what's the reasoning behind this?
We'd get that cha-ching moment.
Oh, yeah.
Success of the hit.
Oh, I feel the knowledge just what's interesting? Do you remember like that time when our brains kind of like split open a bit because of we just never conceived of the thing, and then which was Split Cock Man.
Yeah, the self-mutilation.
Right? But then
after
Man was
that,
a bit of a
reflecting back, we could come to that conclusion that he was extremely brave.
It's all good. Split Cock. I hope Split Cock's still going well, but it's that when I then get
I hope
the
he's
data.
had many partners enter that Split Cock, which he always wished for.
I know. Oh, he did. He really wanted that. He wanted to have that.
He wanted to have that.
So, but now when I hear like, oh, dude, abort, it doesn't have a popping sensation in my brain. It's like Split Cock Man, like, was sort of a transcendental moment for me that sort of like evolved
me. It was his
involved my
conviction to go ahead
intelligence.
with it and then to document it and have the whole
it.
thing
That's it.
explain, including the fainting spells and the, you
Yes.
know, very
As he was doing
extremely
these actions
descriptive with pictures
with
to back it up.
pictures.
But that's it. That's what they call
Evidence.
it. Not just
can-
that, but that's receipts. You get the receipts.
Receipts. That's what you
Mm,
call it. Ah.
exactly.
Mm, mm.
Now, I know good people are pretty good with Photoshop these days. One of the girls at work showed me a particularly hilarious Photoshop picture.
Receipt? Like a receipt level picture? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it was sort of was, and you know, I mean, anyone could take someone's face and stick it on a body these days. It's quite easy.
Ah.
Yeah, you know, and with a
Yeah, I
with a
mean,
bit of
it's just,
talent, you can blend it in quite well.
well, not even. You
I
just
mean,
feed
shit,
in a bunch of
yeah.
images. You just train a neural net to, like, and
Boom,
then just those two
slap a
particular
face on.
specific people, and then just
That's it.
whack it in there.
Slap a
Like,
face
get
on.
a whole bunch of video and everything. Get
Mm.
like 500 million images of them off the internet.
That's why I
Away you
do
go.
enjoy when we do have these chats that we use avatar so that we can. I mean, I know you quite happy to show your face on whatever side, but I mean,
Well,
obviously
because I speak. Well, I'm.
that's your thing.
That's my whole.
Mm.
That's the gig.
Yeah, that's the gig. I get it. But for me, unless I was doing my own thing, which I'm not, I'm
No.
sort of doing the man's thing, so I've
Well,
got to
the
keep
whole
a
idea
certain
too.
anonymity.
One does.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also, my
I
whole
mean, not that you
intention with
wouldn't get
Talk
it
is
when I
Cheap.
talk about fucking milking turtles, but it's my nice, polite way of talking about it without
That's good.
referring
No.
directly to
Oh,
the
well.
industry that I work under. Turtle
That's
milking
right.
makes it
And
much easier.
you need a you need a network slot machine to
Mm.
really like be able to like get all the turtles at once.
Oh, I know. That's when you get the turtle dick stack competition going on.
You do. That is exactly what happens at that point. You know.
Electronic dick stacking.
Uh, I don't want to use an automated like cutter because a lot of our like pauses, maybe not the length of them, sometimes they're too long.
Yeah.
And sort of certain when we like we make sort of noises or noises which would normally be like flagged.
Yeah.
Like they're good to keep. Like so
Because sometimes
the
those
sort of
ums are the break in the silence that's required to connect.
well, not just the break in the silence. It's more about like it's us giving like certain kinds of emotion towards what we're talking about. Like we're
Well,
sort of
to
there's
me, the
just
word has always been the pause between a lie and the truth.
oh, that's interesting.
That's the way I've looked at it. When someone says they have an opportunity to go, I can think about this for a few moments and I can tell the truth or I can tell a lie. And that's where the whole basis of the lie begins with the
Is it also but could it surely it could, okay, but the lie could just be trying to formulate something you don't know.
Is trying to sing up your conscience.
But, but maybe that's one use. Like, but what I'm trying to say is that maybe or it is like it's still lying,
Mm.
but it's trying to create a like to figure out what you would need to
Believable
like.
lie.
It's like on the
The pause for a believable
well, what you're
lie.
trying to say. I mean, what you're trying to say in that moment, like you're like, oh, I've not said this before, and what am I thinking about
Mm.
exactly? And then you
Will it
need a
go
little
down well
moment,
with
but the
with the
moment is to
audience who are going
create
to
the
listen to
believable
it? Are
thing.
they going to be, sensitive to
Yeah,
what I'm saying, or should I edit
it's a
it?
setup.
Mm.
So it's a person preparing like yeah, so for the
Pre-scene
and then
setup.
and that's why we do it, and that's why
Yeah.
we edit it out so you can
Mm.
conceal that the person had to have a think.
Yes. Yeah.
Concealing the thinking.
Rather than a more of a free-flowing thought,
Hmm.
which was the talk is cheap real principle, isn't it? I mean,
Hmm.
the idea just flow and and not to really think about it too much, but more just your general
We'll have a
take on it.
conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the back and forth of like tweets. Nah, not tweets. That's just taking this. But gee.
But I like the fact that we've come to the conclusion that memes are far more effective at transferring the information quicker than normal media these days. A meme will circle far quicker and far wider than
it was quite some time ago for me where I recognized that the primary unit of communication had become ads.
yeah.
Like
The
if
blip,
you want to be able to
blip
do
Well,
the blipbit,
the
the
blip.
blipbit,
Yeah.
exactly. And that, like, it's whether it be a banner or a 15-second or whatever, it's like it's a blipbit, but it is the primary unit of communication.
Yeah.
That's what we respond to, engage with. Like, it's what you can inspect. It becomes the town crier. Like, it truly has become. Here's the thing, which I'm interested that it hasn't been really spoken about. Like, there's all these like democratizations, right? Oh, the internet democratized music and made it worthless, and then we had to have a different model, and like news and like journalism, and like how do you make, like, it just destroyed it, because it democratized that, and then suddenly there's all these citizen journalists and MKBHDs and everything who just come out of nowhere, intent, not nowhere, like he planned,
Yeah.
like not planned, but he
Yeah.
put the effort in. I don't know what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Probably cut that out. But
Well, the most times
hey,
people are journalists is because of the fact that they
but
feel strongly about a particular issues or whatever, and
mm,
they want to be involved. And
well,
obviously on
the
the camera side of the, not the camera side, but more the, on-site, well, essentially the side TV. You are there. You want that
that's right.
thing. You are there. You see the thing. You want that thing.
Yeah,
Steady diet of the beer porn, and if it's too oversensitive, then they don't talk about it. But if it's just that right
it was.
level, not
Do you remember?
undersensitive, but that just a medium shock value.
Do you remember like when like I was proposing sci TV, and then people would like sit around and they'd think about it and they'd say, "Oh, but someone will just behead somebody like live on the thing on the network," and you're just like,
Well,
"Yeah."
apparently
It's like,
the explodey guy that we were
yeah.
talking about earlier, he sent a live video to his friends while he was doing it.
Oh, full of pro move. Nice. I like it.
Mm.
I'm
Come and
glad to
watch me.
hear
Come
that.
and watch me. Here we go.
Mhm. Were they having a beer?
I don't know. Catch you later, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hopefully it wasn't a shock. Like, hopefully they were having a beer. They didn't want to be there because they knew they'd get fucking covered. So they
Toasty.
just
Yeah.
toasty. Yeah. So they just
Mm.
might be accomplices at that point. So they just.
Don't know, man. But if it ends up on
But
internet,
not like if you were there and just watching, you'd be accomplice by not doing anything. Maybe probably there'd be some omission of action. But if you
probably.
weren't there and you could plausibly deny it, like, we didn't mean for him to send that video to us as we were living and we all clicked in and we're having a beer. We were just having a beer,
Yeah.
and then we all got
At
the
the local
message. So
local pub, and I
it's like,
I shot it
I
up to
just
the video wall because I had
I just
access to the
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 video. We can put him
interlink
on
that
the
was there.
video wall.
Just
We
overtook
all
the interlink.
masturbated.
The
Yeah,
whole pub
yeah,
got to watch him
that's it.
explode. Got
It
a
was
better
joyous.
rating than the
Look at him
Zuckerberg
go.
versus Elon.
Was the camera up close? Did he have it in his hand, like his
I
phone in
don't
his
know,
hand,
man.
so it
I
blew
don't know.
up with it?
All I'm
Or was it
hearing
set
is
up on a
secondhand.
tripod?
I'm hearing
Was it
secondhand, so
it's on a tripod. But maybe
ears
it's
and
the
eyes
footage.
everywhere, they
Like,
say.
maybe it is the close up,
Yeah.
and he's looking at his face. He's looking at his face, and he just like starts to melt. And boos.
Oh man. I don't know. Like if someone rang me and they're like, "Oh man, this is my last video," and you're like, "Dude,
Yeah, what?
it should have been your last wank. You should have been having a wank before it went off, and then blew yourself up."
Do you think the last? Should you be wanking
I
at
mean, if you,
exactly the
I mean,
moment?
if you're
I
gonna
mean,
blow yourself
I
up,
don't
you
know.
want to
It's
just
like,
have a fucking toss. Who's gonna care? Who's gonna give a shit?
Yeah, it's not like you're
It's not like,
shaming
oh, poor shame of the. We're more worried about the big explosion afterwards, man. Dude gets his rocks
That's
off
it.
and then fucking blows himself up.
Explodes. Exploding man explodes.
Yeah. Give yourself a little handy on the way out.
What would the thing is like as a headline, the exploding man explodes, like kind of idea. Which explode comes first? See, this is the thing. Like exploding man explodes.
Well, who knows?
Eh?
Maybe that
You know
was
what I
the
mean?
ultimate fantasy. You know?
That's
Truthfully, in the end, I mean, you pick the way you want to go, and you jump into a fucking. Like I said to someone today, like they were talking about it, and I was like, man, the guy could have just fucking jumped into an alligator's mouth.
no, that's horrid. What the fuck? Like, I prefer to like
Just tuck you up
disintegrate.
under the bank for a couple of days to soften you up. Yeah, be perfect.
Yeah, I'm just seeing it
Yeah.
right now. Well, it's contributing a lot more back to the system, like to the planet,
That's it.
surely, than just
Rather
blowing
than
yourself up. It seems
the
like
willful
less. If
destruction
like
of 5
all of the
fucking
energy that's been
gas
put
bottles.
into
I
like
mean,
generating this
imagine how many
complex
barbecues they
system,
could have had
and
within
then you
5
just
gas bottles,
fry it,
rather than
no one's
wasting
going to
in
eat the parts. It's
one
not
big
worth it.
explosion.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe the crocodile is better because at least the body got eaten.
Yeah. It was
In this
returned.
case, it's just
And
going to be. No one will
It's going
be
to be a
allowed to
couple
eat
of
this body.
vials in the morgue somewhere.
We're going to reduce it to
Scrapings.
carbon, to dust. What a complete waste.
Mm,
The dude like spent 60 years like using resources like
that's
to
it.
create this like physical
Least he could have
form,
done. Least he could
and
have done was
then
just give a little
this could
bit
have done
back
what's
to
been
nature.
eaten.
Yeah,
I know.
give back to
Yeah.
nature, man.
I mean, what a statement that would make, being out the front of your house that's being possessed, and then you just like have a crocodile eat you in front of the house and like bury you there,
Imagine
and people have
you
to
would
watch for
get news
days.
covering for that. You would get news coverage.
It's a multi-day,
Yeah,
and then your friends are there like saying, "Stay back!" It's his fucking statement.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he chose
Fucking
to be
stay back.
this
This isn't
crocodile.
don't. Yeah, that's right.
Imported from northern Queensland.
Stay back. Respect his
That's
wishes.
it. It's a very angry one. It's been hungry the whole trip down. It's going to eat every bit of him like he wanted. In his will. There it is.
Yeah, that's way better.
You must obey my final wishes.
Oh, yes, exactly. It's like it's really the best outcome for all.
It's all there in black and white, so totally legal. See, bonus hole, man.
I'm fully posting that shit, man. I'm
Bonus
fully
hole.
posting that shit.
It's bonus hole.
Just be aware. Yes, I
Yeah.
know, right? That was a bonus. That was totally a whole bonus. I just need to break up the laughing at that.
I know. It hurts sometimes. Well, I guess at least it's better than being crucified, right?
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Because you're hanging on your own body there. That's tedious. I mean, I don't know. Eaten, hung, and crucified.
Guy.
No, I'd still go for
Did
the
well,
explosion.
though. Did well. Affected a lot of people. Affected a lot of religions.
You know what's worse?
What's possibly worse?
What about you did this? What about your? Yeah, no. Here we go. Is that you go there in front of your house and then you're just like, I am going to live with the pain and suffering and experience and be homeless and die of like a terrible disease in the fucking middle of winter and you will all remember what you did to my family.
Ooh.
Now, I think
Ooh.
that. Hey, what about that?
That's
what about that?
That's a very, very bold statement. But is
That's
it
a fucking bold
newsworthy?
statement.
I bet it is newsworthy, wouldn't it be?
Well,
Yeah.
if you did it.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
actually just did, then you just did that
Mm.
30 years, and people wouldn't believe it. And then but when 30
Well, you
years,
know,
whatever came up,
I
and
mean,
you
I
like
don't
died
know
on the
what your
street, you're
homeless issues
just like a
like.
skeleton.
Do you have a place where the homeless gather in Sydney
Well, many,
at the
I
moment?
suppose. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, no, I don't know if gathering's the right word.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a gathering, or perhaps there's other areas where I
Well,
don't
Davies Park in Brisbane.
like
It
as in
used to
South
be,
Brisbane. Is that
yeah,
that's South?
South Brisbane. It
Yeah.
used to be where the Livid Festival kicked off,
Hmm,
first started.
I didn't.
Apparently
Yeah, right.
there's a lot of people camping in there now.
Be a nice place. Does that still exist?
Hmm.
I suppose it just became South Bank. It was further back though. Hey, it's next to the
Yeah,
Greek club. So
yeah,
what? So yeah, no, it's too far
more
behind.
West End,
Hmm. Do you mean Davies Park, like in front of the Greek club? What do you mean Davies Park down by the river?
down by the
Was
river.
I don't.
Yeah,
Oh, that's huge along there.
yeah,
Which is
yeah.
interesting because right
And along
behind
the
that is like the sort
riverbank
of
too.
Metricon
Apparently
horror.
they've been camping out.
I'm not saying it is Metricon created,
So
but like the horror that's
hmm,
behind there of just all these
the
like apartment
the
towers.
northern migration of
It's
the Southerners
fucked.
is
It's grotesque
displacing quite a few people.
because the Southerners
Coming up
had
for
more
the
access. Here's the thing.
because
It's about access to people.
Queensland's
It's
rentals
about
haven't.
access to resources.
Yeah,
If you can mine, like if you have to go a long way to mine your resources, it's a lot of energy.
yeah.
You don't want that. You want to be able to. You want a lot of concentration to be able to sort of mine for maximum value. And so yeah, large populations, and the more dense they are, it's within degrees, like depending on your mining
Oh,
technique. Hey, why am
hang on,
I
hang
going
on,
small? This is,
hang on,
where's my
hang on,
hand?
hang on, hang on. I'm here. Sorry,
Hmm.
I got to remember to move it up. Ah.
No, but I can do that myself. I can move forward and backwards anyway.
No, I just needed to move the OBS to a different position because when it
Oh yeah.
opens up to look for background pictures,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
You're setting
it
up
was
you're setting up a
going over
scene
top of
kind of thing.
your picture and the webcam couldn't see you.
Yeah. All right, I'm at half bottle, so I'm just going to stop on that
So
half
talking
bottle.
about the butt coins. One golden block for a 7 was it 10 shiny silver vaginas. So they used to have fuck coins back in the day. You'd get your coin, allowed you to apparently get that particular act on the coin. That's why a lot of them have got numbers on them. Special different acts by the coin that you wanted to do the thing with. Oh, lost sound.
If you had the 5 coin, that would be like the V. The V coin would be sort of like missionary, for example. Is that what you mean?
I guess it's got there.
As an example, just a random
No, it
sort
looks
of.
like two ladies. Get two ladies for.
Ah, it's all V. It's the V coin, of course.
Scissorings.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
makes sense.
Well, the X.
I think I'll have the 13, the XIII. That looks pretty good. Looks like reverse cowgirl to me. Down
Oh,
the
I
bottom
see it
there,
as doggy.
like the reverse
Maybe
cowgirl.
isn't it doggy? Or isn't it sort of like from behind, as it were?
Yeah, but doggy
Oh,
would mean that
oh,
you're
but
in the. It's more reverse cowgirl,
oh
sort of
no, but
sitting in
his
the.
legs are down, and his
Mm,
legs are
mm,
sitting more, like he's
mm,
more
mm.
reclined as she's
That's
doing
it.
the work.
On the pillow, the
Women,
grapes.
This is interesting.
Reverse cowgirl, number 13, man. I'll tap a 13.
You think get the woman to put some effort in, you think?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, nice. I see.
And I'll take a 5 afterwards just to show.
Oh, what other words can we use? Like, would it be like the receiver? Like, I don't know. That sounds boring. Like, is there some other kind of like
I wonder if
universalizing
there was a
term?
Roman term for it, eh? Like rather than the ones we use today, like the reverse cowgirl.
Okay.
But I wonder what the 13 was in actual Roman terms. You know, what would you call it? Not really the beast with two backs.
I should have bloody muted
But
that.
the X looks pretty good. X looks, you know, if you're in
The
a bit of a hurry,
scissoring.
you're in a bit of a hurry, the X looks alright.
Yeah, look, I mean, I actually think that this sort of stuff is quite been quite healthy. Like, I mean, like, so, you know, if you were with a whatever partner means to you, like, not and not a
Hmm.
partner, like,
Hmm.
so someone you just met, right? And you're at some close point where you're like, yeah, feeling horny for you.
That's it.
And then you actually had to masturbate in front of each other. Like, if that, not had to, but it was sort of like the cultural norm, you know,
The
that
pre.
that's what you do. You'd actually
Hmm.
do that, like, and so you'd have to be like into yourself enough and like feeling okay about things
Hmm.
to even be able to do that, because that's like the, you know, as a starting place, and then you could sort of see, I don't know, whatever you'd see, that's not really important, but I think the emotional experience, like that sort of emotisexual, physical kind of experience of having to
Hmm.
do that
Hmm.
would be very
Be the
normalizing and healthy.
observer
Like,
and the participant
yeah, and you're just
simultaneously.
watching each other,
But
and
yeah.
you know, like perhaps.
Hmm.
Perhaps that. Imagine like you
Well,
go home
I
drunk
think
with
the
some from the party
Chinese
with
were
someone, and
like
you
that.
both like just
They
have to
would
do that.
like
Like, yeah.
participate in the act and then would pause, you know, have a cup of tea or, you know, something like that, and then, you know,
Yes.
admire
Go for
the,
days.
you know, yeah, that's right.
Go for days. Just have a cup of tea, you know, get to a certain place and happiness, that's sort of like enough bliss for the moment. And you're just like, shall we? We should go get some cheese, darling.
Collect some mushroom. All
Oh, some
naked, you know,
mushrooms.
go and get some tocky
I,
mushrooms.
mm-hmm. Now
You
I
know,
definitely know.
observe the fish in the pond, and then, you know, make love on the stone seat for a few moments.
So I haven't had the time, like I've just done a sort of a basic cut now on Jesus and the Angry Man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it's down from that's actually quite dense. So we've gone, and I haven't got any whatever. I haven't trying to listen to that at the same time as you is not that would be a bit messy. So I'll just accept that I've cut the silences out. But yeah, I mean that's down from 130, 128 to like 112. It's kind of good. I mean, YouTube shorts are 1 minute.
Yeah.
And so if I'm going to make shorts out of these, then I'm going to have to make like sort of something which is like super punchy, where it sort of like does the setup, you know, which it isn't applicable to everything.
Yeah.
But it is sort of, and when I say a setup, it's not like we're making actual jokes, but like creating like a joke out of
The
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 content by
scenario
choosing the
scenario
certain
enhancement.
parts
Yeah.
to make it absurd, you know,
Yeah.
like the total absurdism just comes into play in within 60 seconds.
Mm. And there are some like that. I mean, when you get the role, and I think that's the hardest thing is like getting the role on the idea.
What do we have? Do we have a problem with that? I'm not aware of this problem you
No, not
speak of.
all the
I think we could.
time, but like the
No, but where we really get going, like if you look at like say even like you know five cylinders man, like you know gas man, he it was pretty interesting in the man that final thing, where we went. That's That's
The gold.
exceptionally like
The gold. That's it.
that's gold, you know, and that did take time to get to. And
So
I'm just
apparently
interested, like,
snacks are a
while that
thing.
was happening,
Snacks are also a thing.
what, you ate the person?
No, it's sort of like I found this like I don't know whether it's just Facebook and the fact that I've done the whole lack of friends, so it's just pushing all this, food porn at me so that I eat.
Guess that. Oh, is
But
this food porn? Not
yeah,
beer porn, but food porn.
no, it's like buns. Buns got buns, man.
Kebab or
You know when you
clam?
were talking about the old eat me the other day? Well, with the bun friends, you can. Some of the artists have started drawing little,
I see.
so happy about eating the buns.
What's interesting is where you sort of chop things up. I just wanted to say, I'm gonna, this will be like a special little edit within the aspirational things. But one thing I think is like, as an example with like kebab and clam, or which is actually also part of eating to survive. You know, when we're
Yeah,
talking about like,
yeah,
yeah, but but um but splitting it up into two or maybe even three, like this clam story, its own thing, and the kebab or kebab and clam, and the contrast is good, and then the same in this thing, like it's like I think that the what with the with Cylinder Man, that there's probably two or three elements in there that are
yeah,
whole complete
yeah,
things
yeah,
that I break up. You know,
yeah.
you're gonna actually have to send me this. You actually have to send me this. If I
Well,
have to pay for it to be sent to me, I need this file.
the
You
one
know,
that we're doing now.
yes,
Yeah.
to
All right.
edit. Like this is, we're actually doing it, right? This is like
Yeah.
this shit. I'm gonna upload this with all the tags, and we're gonna get into it. It's gonna be good.
But yeah, that
Yeah.
was one of the amusings was the whole
And
bun
I also have
friends.
really, yeah, and I've really thought about it in the last week, and I think our aspirational position is correct. Is that I think actually doing this live is best, even like it was as we're doing it now. But and having the chat, but we don't see it. Like it's just closed. I don't even want to, you
Yeah,
know.
it's not there for discussion. Correct.
Yeah, yeah. We're not talking to them.
Because if I had people putting things down the side there in the chat, then
No,
I'd
it'd be
probably be,
distracting and boring.
well, it would get distracting. And then
Yeah.
they're like trying to, to say what I'm saying, and they're
Mm,
throwing the shakes at you
yeah. No, yeah.
to
Like
get
that, I
noticed.
don't even
Because
want to know the
that's it.
checks. It's
Yeah,
irrelevant. Irrelevant.
yeah, because that's what it seems like to me. Like a lot of it is just
Yeah, it's about being noticed. It's
the
about having a
shekel
voice
throw,
when you don't have a voice. The shekel, the shekel throw.
shekel throw. Take my
Oh,
change on the
oh.
floor, and as
I
I
read a, I
scurry
read a,
away.
I read a book about bar
Mm,
mitzvahs today. Bar and barn mitzvahs or whatever, or
mm,
something. There was two types, depending on what you were
yeah.
born with, and they talked about like the throwing of the lollies at the bar mitzvah, and I was like, what is the purpose? And I was like, what is the purpose? And it's the shekel. It's the
Mm,
stand-in for the shekel, isn't it?
yes. Yeah.
Because you want to keep
Trying
the
to make
shekel. The lolly is worth less
because
than the
my
shekel.
favorites when they do the
You can't make
uh,
it. You can make another shekel. You can make another lolly, but you can't make another shekel. You have to
AI
count.
is
You have to
getting just
accumulate.
crazy with pictures. I've
What's
been
this?
finding a lot of really super cool
I
AI.
wish I could see that at full scale, but anyway. No. What's this? What does it mean?
It's an
Like, is
AI
this a
generated, Billy.
human
Yeah.
person?
Mm, the redhead.
Bonus.
Mm, Megatron.
Megatron Optimus.
Megatron
Optimus.
Optimus.
Optimus. I concur. I
Mm.
saw Optimus this evening.
Did you?
Yeah, it was like in dark, and it was a back alley, and I was just getting this delivery. I was just doing the last things as I was going
And it
home.
was one of the street arts.
And this person was spectacular. I mean, I don't know, actually have any idea. I mean, as a silhouette and physical form, like kind of like shape, like as a shape, like they were, It's not objectifying a person. It's just all I knew about it. It's all the data I had was
Yeah.
shape. So, just go with that. And the pants were like, I don't know, kind of like whatever, not leather, but what leather maybe, or vinyl, or some other kind of, and tiny bit of gloss. And like, I don't know, sort of like that sort of like perhaps particularly positioned bottom thing stuff, like and they were well balanced with the breast. Like it was just ridiculous in this back alley. She's just standing there, and I'm just pulling up, and then this car comes up. It's like a P-plater car with like fucking the most crappiest car. Like I actually I just made it my own car. It's gonna rust and stuff, And then this car was like, oh my gosh, and then this dude that was like not pleasing to the eye, and just a bit dirty and seedy and shit, like, does a deal.
Mm.
And I was cool, like I don't give, it's all good. But it wasn't good also. I actually feel like I didn't do my social like appropriateness by I wanted when I reversed up to park, that's all I wanted to do.
Mm.
In the least likely place where someone would complain, which is what you do. It's not about legal or illegal, it's about where somebody
courtesy.
is least likely to complain.
Yeah.
That's all you're trying
Yeah.
to achieve, right? Like, and then you win. And that was basically where she was standing. So I pulled up there. I really wanted to just press the button on my window and go, you can buy drugs off better people than that. That's all I wanted to say. Not like, oh, what are you doing? You can buy drugs off better people than that, because that person,
Yep.
you're worth 10 freaking shekels, like
Mhm.
whatever you
Mhm. Whatever the current
said,
going
whatever 10
currency
coppers to
is.
one thing. Like,
Mm.
it's like, that's,
10
whatever the
moon
currency,
rocks.
that you do not need to be collecting drugs from that seedy looking fucker
Yeah.
in his stupid dodgy car. Like, I'm not impressed. Like, girlfriend.
I know, man. We got a tiny dancer down where I go to pick up fuel, and this morning it was freezing. Well, not mega cold, but it was cold enough. And she had one shoe off and a sock off and one shoe on, and was just doing the full whipping backwards and forwards and backwards and I call them tiny dancers. You But yeah, man, this
No,
morning.
I get it. No, I totally
Yeah,
got it. Totally.
yeah.
Yeah, and she's like not a tiny dancer yet.
Mm.
But if she hangs around and keeps buying drugs off fuckwits like that, like,
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's where she'll end up. Tiny dancing. More bread related friends.
so I let down humanity today by, not helping steer someone away from the tiny dancer, syndrome.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. I feel a bit sad about that. I mean, I don't feel like I want to know about her or care about her or anything like that. But
Well,
it's just
you
like,
can't help everybody, Si.
yeah.
I mean, and
Well,
sometimes when you
actually,
do, you end up getting, you know, um, friendly reminders not to.
well, there's that too. I
Mm.
mean, it's their experience. They like
Yeah,
That's actually a totally valid experience,
yeah,
and I like that's kind of the other half of it. Like, I didn't do it because it's like, oh yeah,
yep,
no, that's what you want to do. That's
yep.
it. And not like a dismissive or that's what you
Mm,
want to do. It's
mm,
just like,
mm. No,
yeah, sure.
sure.
Like, thank you for being one of me, like one of the selves, because like I don't want to do that. I've got
Uh-uh.
my own crazy shit. You don't want to do what I'm doing. You have
Mm,
no idea.
mm,
Like, you
mm.
fucking definitely
It's a
don't want
separate
this.
thing. That's all right.
Yeah. But I don't want that either. Like,
Mm,
but thanks
mm.
for letting me observe it. Like, that was a really
Yes,
sort of,
yes.
yeah, thanks for letting me
Yeah,
see.
and obviously it will be experienced, but yeah, not
Well,
in
it is
this.
being experienced right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like, it's like, it's fucking obvious.
Simultaneousness.
Yeah, it's like it's happening. It's happening, man. Like, it's like, oh, it's real. Yeah, everything's real. If it's
Yeah.
real, then if you start saying some things aren't real, then you're saying it's not real.
Mm,
You
mm.
can't do that. Like,
You
it's all
invalidate. You
real.
invalidate their reality.
You invalidate reality by
Mm.
invalidating their reality. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's don't do that. Yeah,
No, no.
no.
It's like do me a solid from the what was it?
Oh,
You seen that episode,
that sounds. I don't know.
Rick and Morty?
It made me think of Terraria, basically. But do tell me about Rick and
Yeah,
Morty. Yeah.
was it Rick and Morty or no? It was what's the other show? Mordecai and Rigby.
Oh, I
Do
want
me
to
a
buy that whole
solid.
series.
Do me a
Do
solid
me a
episode.
solid. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, where they keep asking each other to
That
do a
is
solid,
such.
and then they end up fucking up
That's.
the whole reality itself, and then it becomes unsolid because they're promising so many solids but not
It's
delivering
so
on the
solid.
solids.
Yeah.
Uh, some of those apps, man, are just hysterical. Yeah.
I want to rewatch. I want to buy that. Actually,
Mm,
hang on. Let me just. I'm curious. You got mildly curious. I'm in no position. It's not a
mm,
like. It's some other future, quite near time. I will. I
position,
am going
yeah.
to succeed. I paid for Japanese this week.
Good, brother.
I
Good.
will.
And I'm
I
glad
could.
that you're
I'm doing it, man.
getting the things done.
I'm
And
fucking doing the things.
I'm gonna start focusing on my
It's
financing
freaking
and
intense,
doing the
man. It's intense, but
prepayments,
I'm
man. Doing
not.
the prepayments.
I'm.
That's what I need to do, the prepayments. Get
Yeah,
ahead of some
that's
of
the
the
first
bills.
step. So remember when we lived, the time
Hmm,
where I was doing the study,
that's
and
it.
the first thing was to be stable, you have to know where you are.
Yeah.
If you don't know your position, like what the fuck are you do? You just start flying around everywhere. Like it's just like,
Mm,
well, I don't
mm,
know, where am I? This is fucking crazy. But once you know your position, you can create stability.
yeah.
And then the next thing is like where you have like these alternating waves like of income and outcome, and then you need to like normalize those so they become like a single flow, right? And then that stability phase that you've created
Mm,
then creates accumulation. Like if you have a bookshelf and it sits there, like in your house right now, like if someone sat there for 10 years,
mm.
if you just go up to the top of it, it's just got this accumulation of matter.
Yeah.
You didn't bring that matter into the house.
No,
It just
no,
brought
but
itself into the house.
that's right. It's
And
invited.
that's the thing. And then the third layer of that then is by doing that you can gather the accumulation and like create evolution. So it's always survival, expansion, evolution. It's the three phases of like energy consumption, like where the first of all you need to like pay all the things.
Yep.
Second phase is that you can grow, and that's through stability, right? You just can grow. And then the third thing is you then through that create surplus. And from surplus, you can then start to invest and like do it, whatever. There's a whole bunch of words, but you can then evolve and create new things. And that's what I learned in that time. Like I studied that. I still have the spreadsheet of every transaction I did in the year, and like and assigning sort of like groups and weights and stuff to them to understand them. And it was so interesting. And you come down to this basic sort of it's numbered like
Yeah.
numerical. It's
Yeah.
fucking not even
Mm,
it's a literal it's an algorithm,
yeah.
and you just like apply the algorithm and then you just move ahead.
The
And
thing
there's a
isn't as expensive as you think. When thing isn't as
no,
expensive as
no.
you think it is.
It's
Only
only as
if you leave
expensive
it
as
when you leave it to the last moment.
it's right. It's only as expensive as frequently as you want to replace it. It's fucking that simple, man. Like if you know what I mean. If you have a $5,000 car and you want to get another $5,000 car in 5 years, then you need $1,000 a year. Which is $3 a day.
Pretty
Fucking just
much.
start doing it. Just start, put
Put the $3
$3
away a
away,
day.
and I guarantee
Yeah.
you have a $5,000 car in 5 years.
Mm.
That's
To
my
replace the
personal
one.
guarantee
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And who knows, if you sell that other one, you
That's
might get
right.
a few bucks back
You
as
might be
well.
able to, you might get to be a $7,000 car.
Mm.
But
Or a
will you then
$5,000 car
increase?
with a whole year's worth of registration.
Nice. See, yeah, I like that. So it's always three states. It's always a trip. We live in a a trinary reality. So it's all good. Well, we live in one negative one. So
Mm.
happy days. Um, so the trinary state's more of a sort of a quantum state, obviously. all of the states.
Mm. Either,
One
either,
and
neither.
-1. And
And
that's why in mathematical terms, like plus and addition, plus and multiplication of things, not division and subtraction are sort of aberrations. You know, they
yes,
have to sort of do weird shit to make them happen. But addition and multiplication makes sense
just
because
let me know when you do see the
that's
numbers, Si. Okay.
what do you mean?
The
I think I've seen the
strange thing
numbers
that
for
I was
two.
asked. The strange thing that I was asked. You know.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see the
yeah,
numbers.
yeah. Seeing the numbers.
The numbers, yeah. The numbers are like it's the flow
Well,
of
haven't
people,
we
the
always
movement, like
seen the
the
numbers,
energies
Si?
being.
You know, and seeing the
No, I
letters
see
in the
them.
numbers and the numbers and the
Well,
letters. Or has it
it's
just
even
been
better.
recently that because of we've been pushing our minds more?
No, there's about seeing them.
Because I'm not seeing the green, you know, Chinese writing coming down and the holding back bullet sorts of things, but you know, there are definitely other levels of it, isn't there?
Yeah, well, levels is an interesting word, but I mean, like acceptance is, I don't know. But you, yeah. I mean, I can recall, like, yeah, sure, first seeings and things, but
But the partial, like we were talking about the um, holding time. So you'd be sitting watching some clouds, and you know,
yeah,
observably
I've held the
you'd
sun,
held the moment. You know what I mean?
not just
Held the
clouds, but the
moment to
sun.
infinity, as they would
Held
say.
I held the sunset. I held the sunset as
Held
long
the
as I
moment
required.
unto infinity,
Mm,
or at
mm.
least to your perspective of infinity.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. That's
Mm,
it. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
mm.
No one else experienced that, and no one needed to. It was irrelevant. Like that's not. We have like all the multiple simultaneous realities happening. You know, it doesn't preclude anyone else's.
Mm, mm. Each one would have their own. I
No,
mean,
and they synchronize it if you
mm,
wish them to. I mean, you can wish them not to. I could have continued that and just gone into entirely alt reality where that was kind of like what was going down,
mm.
but I didn't, and so I returned. Like I recentered. You got to be very mindful of translocation. You always got to wonder how you get back. You know, it's not. It can go anywhere you want, but to get back to here is like I don't even know. I don't even know if
Suitable
it's possible.
reality.
It's, yeah, well, this exact thing, like as if nothing happened, like because then if nothing happened, you wouldn't even know that it happened because you would also be part of the state. So that doesn't make sense. So I mean, you can do that, of course, but then you just don't know. Nothing happened. Like, oh, look, I just fully translocated and became a dog, you know, for like 12 years, and I just returned.
Mm.
Did you just see me do that?
In the
But
instant.
to become here so that we can continue this conversation, well, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Because if I did know that, then it wouldn't be here, would it? Like, because then
No,
we'd be having a
no,
different
and it would
conversation.
certainly have a completely different cover. That's it.
That's it, right? So, like, that's it. I just did it. Look at me. I'm fucking beyond Jesus, man. Like Buddha like. It's amazing.
Enjoying the fractal iterations.
Oh, I love flying through those fractals of your place.
Mm.
That's amazing. That's cool. It was super cool.
I need to make
So
more like that. Or
I want it even more fluid. It's
yeah,
more like lit
yeah,
and
yeah,
feeling and real.
yeah. And being able to
It,
touch it and stuff, interact with it, like push it around. So then it
well,
would
maybe choose what's fractalizing
geometrically
too.
space itself
You know, whatever's
using the same
fractalizing is
thing just from the
interesting.
interactions.
Ah,
But yes, that
see,
series
it's
with the cube, that was quite good.
oh, you watched it, Cardo,
Mm.
the answer, the making of the special like four-dimensional things, which is like not even it's the making them's not the issue. It's so good, like because it's not.
Yeah, yeah,
You can.
yeah.
The issue is
Is the
paper,
mm,
not the material. We're all material focused, and it's like no, you know, it's like
that was quite good.
Mm. Yeah, and even the sort of like the ending, it was interesting the way. I mean, it had to finalize it somewhere, but the way
Mm.
that they solved it, was also just a very curious manner. Yeah, a good piece of anime, a good story, like really interesting story. I mean, I think the one that I'd recommend next in that vein of kind of stories in my mind is this recent set, which is
The one that you were putting me onto, the
oh yeah, to me who always loved you, and to the you something anyway. There's like it's a two-part. It's two films, and
Mm.
they're the same story, but from like a slightly different
different perspective. Yeah.
Mm. And it's all about sort of it's about translocation. It's about it's a very good treatment of the concept of translocation and simultaneous reality. You know, where all the things are just things, and you just move between them. Like it's the idea of walking down to the shops is literally a pantomime. Like you're already at the shops. You don't even have to
Yeah.
worry about that
Yeah.
business. It's like how much you
It's
worry about
pretty
that.
much the eventuality.
Well, you're there. You're just not
Yeah.
even like I'm there right now. I'm always at the shops. But like I have to go through this ridiculous pantomime to accept that I'm at the shops,
Mm.
and it involves walking all the way there. It's absurd. And I can feel like all sorts of ways as I go there. Like it's optional. Like I could like be super joyous about it or anything. Like all of the paths that are available, and I can like make it up as I go along.
Mm.
But all of that's just a fantasy. It's a total fantasy reality to accept that I'm actually at the shops, and the shops are already open because they always are, and there's always apples, and it doesn't matter if I eat one, like because I can, like and the further you go away from this, you translocate, like it's interesting. But the question I just, as I have attempted and like got quite had the pulling of translocation, even
The yank.
that I real that
Mm.
I realized, like, well, yes, but how do you return? Because you don't. That's not how it works. Like, you'd
Mm.
have to then move from where you are to where you like it just like where you weren't now.
Adjustment of the
Like,
string,
yeah,
perhaps.
yeah. How do you go back to where you didn't know that you did that? Hmm.
But then,
What direction is that? Like, I don't know.
why would you worry about it? Because it was already done.
Then you can never return. So there is no backsies. It's just all forward, only forward. But and that's the thing you learn in hallucin, like in like like good LS3 trips, and you can teach people it through it. Is that
Yeah.
you get to the skeletons, and then the way is not back to no skeletons. That's going to make it more crazy. You need to
Yeah.
move through the skeletons to where
Yeah.
skeletons become beautiful flowers. Like
Mm.
that's
Mm.
where you need to move to,
Yeah.
and then it's happy days.
And not be concerned.
Not be
Yeah.
concerned, as
Yeah.
beautiful as it is. Yeah.
Push through.
Oh, the
Mm.
skeleton witch thing that wants to eat me is like, oh, like an entire flower of bloom in a world. It's amazing, and you got to keep moving forward. And so yeah, but you can move back. Like you can move back by moving forward. So that yes. This is an interesting image. I like the background. I like how we kind of become the other two characters, and then there's the third character in the middle.
Yeah. Well,
What are our names?
they're bread girls.
But what is your bread and my bread?
Well, the bread's behind us. Hang on.
What there's the name. See this name?
Yeah. Yeah. Light toast, golden toast, and 24 rise.
So you're 24 eyes, and I'm light toast. And what's the middle toast?
Golden toast.
Got.
In between.
So that's very 5'8" to 6 foot, isn't it? It's like a
Mm.
chair. It's bread. This is what I Rasmus bread. Yeah. It's a subculture. The modern language of racism.
Mm. Mm.
You could, if you hate Nintendo owners, you're racist. That's
Yep.
what it means. It's got
Does.
nothing to do with skin color. That's melanonism.
No.
Get over it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's melanin.
Yeah. I mean, you can just
Get
call it
over your
racism
colour,
because
will
it's
you?
like a
Get over
subculture,
your
but then
colour, will you?
you're saying that skin color is a subculture, and I don't know that that's quite true. Like,
Trying to look for other. Can't, man. I have anxiety. Thought you
well,
might like that one.
if only Kant Man would understand that he can have anxiety, and so he's actually Can Man. He just doesn't realize it. He's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
accepting. He's
Yeah.
not accepting that he's Can Man. It's like, you know.
As soon as he accepts his anxiety as a what was the word I was listening to the other statement? Oh, incidental monkeys on an incidental space rock. Unless you can come to that greater
No,
knowledge.
I want to go to no beyond. That's actually still very anthropomorphized. I think like
Mm,
really, to be honest, I'm literally the Earth incarnate
mm. Well, I chose
in
spaceship
motion.
for a reason.
Yeah, I mean like
Yeah.
I'm the Earth in motion. Like it just like it has extruded itself out and managed to like actually separate like from the foot so that you can like lift it off. Like so the Earth can lift off from itself and like jump
The
around.
Earth's piezo-pod.
Yeah, totally.
Loves
That's what I, that's what
piezo-pod.
yeah. And you know, within that is like, you know, potential for intelligence.
Mm.
So that
Shared intelligence.
potentiality of observation, you know, is like a portal to intelligence. Like, and that's all that.
And
Not
its
even
desire
intelligence
to
itself, just
communicate.
a portal to intelligence, like
Mm.
a
Meat
neural net,
portal.
like yeah, it's the meat portal to intelligence. You know? And as an information, like as an absorber of like observational data. I'm just a fucking Tesla,
Mm.
you know,
Mm.
just
A
cruising around the road, man.
glorified Earth Tesla.
Yes, I'm a glorified
Mm.
Earth Tesla,
Your
you
plasmoid.
know, made of dirt.
Your
I'm walking
water-filled
dirt, like
bag.
just,
Plasmoid.
well, I'm just, well, yeah.
Your chemical bloody
So this
uh,
the water and the earth together at last with fire,
your
you know.
magna chemical meat bag.
That's really quite beautiful, you know.
It
I'm
is. It
I'm
is.
grateful to be that. Like
Hey,
this just
I
feels
mean,
really
what was the other
connected. You know
choice?
what I mean?
Amoeba? We did amoeba already. Amoeba
Oh,
was a bit,
well, yeah.
same
The amoeba
pool.
path is interesting. Yeah,
Amoeba pass,
yeah. I mean,
same little pool, swimming around. I feel like a little bit of a goldfish. Let's evolve. Yeah, okay, let's evolve.
I mean that's it takes steps. You know, like you don't
You
start
don't
off
rush
like you
into
don't.
it. Let's just
No,
say, when you're
you
sitting in
gotta.
the primordial ooze
That's
pool, you
right. You
do not
don't.
rush into things. You take a few million years to
No, you
sort
want to get
shit
that
out.
shit right
Yeah.
because
You have a few little
billions.
demo runs. If they don't work,
Yeah,
whatever. Extinction.
you get just to like really because otherwise you want your core code to be
Mm,
effective
mm, mm,
as a planet. Like you know what I mean?
mm.
As
And
as
suitable
life,
to the
as
environment at the
existence.
time,
True.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
as it forms. Yeah.
Dude.
Because otherwise you don't collect any observational
Mm.
data. What's the fucking point? Like the observational data kind of like is
I
like, oh,
mean, being a trilobite ain't easy. I gotta tell you.
no. I like the legs.
Mm, mm. And
I
the
really
ability
do.
to eat stone
That's good. Oh man, can you imagine? Oh, yeah, it's just making my body feel full and taste like enjoying
mm,
it just right now. There's no all the
nice,
scurrying and
hit a
just
nice big
chewing.
vein of iron and chomp, chomp,
God,
chomp,
just
chomp.
chewing that
Oh,
iron. Oh,
that'll do me. Yeah.
oh,
A
it's
red
so
rusty
good.
excreta.
Just crap out some oxygen.
That's
You
it.
know, I don't know how does it
You get
work.
some
I'm not
oxidizing
sure.
going.
Yeah,
Early oxidizing in that little pool.
yeah. because that was appropriate. And you see
Mm.
that like if you go into your backyard and there's say a prickle bush, and you eject the prickle bush, but you place the prickle bush without prickles, you do it at the appropriate time on the ground. What the prickle bush has done is concentrate a particular set of minerals and combination of so forth that then you can then that was dilute in the earth as a concentrator to then like lay it back on the earth to increase the density and the concentration of it there. Yeah, that's sort of the what a plant does. And if you take it to like the more complex sort of systems that just to operate the same way, and they become like hyper collectors of particular things to like then create.
Mm. Highly efficient at it.
Specialized. Yes, yeah.
Only really the things that live now have been highly efficient at survival up until now.
Yeah, well. Yeah, uh, this is going to be an interesting thing to chuck up there. Like I'm pro eugenics, you know what I mean? Like I'm not don't Nazify that. It's
No,
because they're not the same
no.
concept, you know. But
It's
like as a species,
it's
like as an organism, like what are we doing? Like why would you promote weakness? Like I don't mean like we should also be like super strong or whatever, but you know, like delete the code that's not suitable. Like at this level where you're like a mobile tree, like we're literally like trees that move, and we're four-dimensional trees, you know, just cruising around,
Yep.
able to do things like
Trying to plant our seeds everywhere.
yeah, just be conscious and hit the delete button. Be a programmer. You know, don't be just a user. Like what the fuck? Like, oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm just a human. Like, it just happened that there we go. I just replicated in this kind of fucked way. No, no, you're a programmer.
Let
Like,
me muddle it.
programmer, edit.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, can we just move to at least the editor level?
We'd
Can
want
we
to
just
hope so.
accept that? Can we just accept the editor level and
We
not
can
get all
edit.
whack
We can
about it
edit
and
on the
twisted?
fly. You know,
Yeah, like what's
something isn't
like,
suitable, we just take it out.
yeah. Like it's just more awesome, you know. It's just like be more awesome. Like why wouldn't you? Oh no, I've got to be as fucked as possible.
Oh yeah.
Let's replicate as
Life's nothing
many of
without
us that
misery,
are
of
like
course.
miserable. Like
Yeah.
Jesus, and that's what it's about. Yeah.
See no beauty, see no
Well,
you know.
modern
Look at a
scientific principle
flower and want
came
to spit on it.
from religion. So there you go. Perhaps it says something. You know, the entire scientific sort of principle comes from religion as a starting base. Then monks and stuff.
The natural progression, wanting to know more.
Boring ass.
Mm.
I want to know about that. It's a bit all rapey and weird.
I found some good backgrounds, like generated by AI. It's been some crazy stuff. Oh, hang on. Far away trick. And you're back. Interrupt you. Up to the top screen. Post-apocalyptic cityscapes. Did some cool. Oh, here we go. AI. I think it is. Oh. Coffee. Character in there. Robot. What? Cyber hand. I can't hear you.
Now, when did I mute?
I don't know.
I
Get
wonder.
back. Let's
Get
just
back.
bump the button. Yeah, AI generated that one. Character.
No wife and a 3-day cruise. No wine and a shave this morning. No wine and a shave this morning.
I know why I put my clown makeup
Hello.
on.
I know why I put my clown makeup on. That's good. Woman face.
It's the only way to approach the day.
It is.
I find I make people's days a lot more lighter when I do my job and have a comedy element to it.
So I've been doing. I've done a couple of alcohol deliveries. And the first one, I was just like, oh, this is literally my first one. Thanks for working with me on this. Like, you know, and she was actually like, I knew it was a total perfect situation, except she wasn't drunk, you know. And but she looked young and all the things, so I had to do the proper way. So I've done a couple others, and just been like fully lighthearted about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this guy this afternoon, he's older than me. Like he's lived longer than me, and then I'm like, hi, yeah, yep, we got to do the thing. Great, great. And I just photograph his ID, and then he
Yeah.
like tells me his birthday, and I said, "Oh, you practiced that well." and he's like, "Oh," and he laughs, and I said, "Oh, your dad's gonna be proud of you, man." And he's like, "Oh, man," he just loved it, and he's like, 16 or whatever, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Yep." And then this other guy, I was like, it was a double pickup and delivery to one place, so it was alcohol and pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And so sober, and then like, and then I say to him, I hand him the pizza, and he puts the pizza down. I said, now that's a R-rated pizza. It's actually an 18+ pizza. I'm gonna have to card you,
Yeah.
otherwise I'm gonna have to take
Yeah.
the pizza away.
Yeah.
You know, and he just was like fucking loved it. That he was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, and it was amusing as it was, yeah. Anyway, I didn't need to go further with it. That was it. It was done, and we just did the rest of the thing. I said, right, cool, you can have the pizza. Oh, here's your alcohol, by the way. You know, it's like, They've been just being like yeah, it was fun. Just doing
Yeah.
fun shit.
Yeah. And that's what I try to achieve is if I can lighten someone's day.
Yeah.
It's like someone said to me the other day, "Oh, what's your star sign?" And I was thinking to myself, "Fuck, I'm sick of that question."
I
And I
know.
said, "You know what my star sign is? It's the bird." And she went, "What do you mean?" Then I just went, "Eh."
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
then she just laughed her head off. She thought that was so funny. I said, "You can use that if you want."
Yeah, yeah, the bird.
Yeah.
So I tried various things as I was editing. So
Yep.
there's some things where I'm doing something where in certain spaces, particularly well, with my character last week, like I was, for last batch, I was mobilized heaps more than you. Like you're
Yeah.
quite static as a character,
My character.
and
Yeah.
yeah, you're very static. Your mouth was doing all the things, but you were
Yeah.
often not in frame.
Well, like I said, while I
Too.
haven't got the camera on, it just
Which is
does
all
that sort of, slight
generic.
animation, generic
Yeah, that's line
animation
up,
to it. Yeah.
which is all good. So that's not a problem. It was just that. Uh,
You were way more animated.
yeah. So what I was doing was I instead of like cutting because it was quite jarring, where with your character it didn't look jarring.
Yeah.
So I was trying these transitions where I'd like 4x it and just reduce the sound.
Yeah.
So it'd be like I'd sort of like move from one space to another, just,
Yeah. Yeah. Jump around a bit. Yeah.
like, but not sort of click.
Mm.
You see that, and I don't know. So some I've done with that, and some I've done without that, and I'll just see what It'd be interesting to see what you think, like as they go up and
Yeah.
think about what that means. Like I think maybe it's a mix, but I don't know. Like I haven't quite grasped um, what it is. I'll be interested to see how the mic goes this time, like because I'm using my headset,
Yeah.
which will be
Well, you
way
are
better
a lot
audio.
clearer to me.
Yeah,
So
I bet I am. I'll put the stereo back in. I wonder if that actually makes it better. I have an allergic reaction to my headphones.
it doesn't change your voice or your level. So, I guess to the device, it's stereo, the mic, but to me on
No,
my end, because it's coming
I
through,
think it's mono.
yeah, because it comes through Messenger
Mm.
as our comms medium.
I think unfortunately it's better than it actually is better than Skype.
Yeah,
But it's more smoother or it's something.
it was a priority. All right. I was using last time we were doing this, getting about a 90, but then again, I was using avatar control with the hand movement software,
Yeah.
and it was taking quite a significant chunk of processor's time.
I wonder if no, I don't know if that was it. You're way more mobilized.
If I turn my camera on, like I'll kick in. Hang on.
Is that what it is? Oh, is this
So
here?
yeah,
Is it back?
I've got it on like just voice at the moment.
Yeah.
But if I kick in the bass track, there we go. So then I get more head turning movement and
Yeah.
should be able to like lean right back,
Yeah, do the
go
things I'm doing.
forward. I'm a
It's
lot
like a
more
training.
yeah, a lot more mobile with the camera on, and my head, obviously tracks
I've,
my head. So if
I've
I have
gotten
the light
better
on, it's
at
even better. It should then be able to copy my blinks, so when I close my eyes and
I've gotten better at like recognizing my positioning of the character, like sort of
Yeah.
moving my body. Not great yet, but
But I can stay
better.
mobile and still chat when I've got the camera off. And it's easy enough. Like I just flick the lens and it automatically goes back to its reset position. And then we'll,
Yeah.
but it won't animate while the camera's on. So if the camera's present, then it only animates with the camera. But as soon as I turn the camera off, it then goes into the self animation or self movement default thing. That's what I do like about the Magic Mirror software, is it does have that fallback. So if you don't have a camera, it still allows you to animate and do your presentation, finger pointing, that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's a bit gammy with the way that it will present. You need to be sort of right back. I'm your character placed in the. I move him over there. Reach is better. Obviously, I'm not. I don't have it in wide at the moment. Am I appearing? Oh. Ghost hand.
Ghost hand. And wow. There's a lot of blank space.
Where we're just not talking, or
Oh, just in like in some of them, like say for example this kebab clam, I'm just cutting at the moment, so just smashing out a couple of minutes worth.
Mm.
So it's 9 minutes 31 of content, which is down from like 10 minutes 11. But I'm only at like sort of 1 minute 45 into the cut. We're just getting rid of
we're
just the
coming up
basics.
to a 3 hour mark, or just over the 3 hour mark now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So did you want me to stop it there?
Yeah, why don't we stop that and then like